know we have a full house. If you have any seats next to you that are available, maybe raise your hand if somebody wants to sit. Quick order of business before we get started. There are some comment cards in the back of the room, so if you do wish to address the board during public input or any item on the agenda, please grab a card, fill that out, and get it up to the front, and we'll make sure we give you 3 minutes or so to speak. Yeah, we just came back from closed session, and we took no action. There was a report out, but no action was taken. And before we get started with the Pledge of Allegiance and our student group behind me, did want to recognize our student board member is not Nicole Jacobson this evening. She could not make it, so Jerry Schwan, did I say that right, is here today to take her place, so welcome Jerry. He'll be our board member the next rotation around, but he was kind enough to step in this evening, so we don't have a seat vacant, so welcome. Thanks for being here. And also we have 2 CTE students who are job shadowing with the communications team. I think they're somewhere in the back. So I wanted to welcome them, Blake Lane and Aaron Cervantes from Arlington High School and their media, video, and arts class. So welcome to them. And so now we'll get started with the presentation of the colors done by Martin Luther King High School, their NJROTC, under the direction of Chief Julius Macias.
Halt. And peace. Compress.
And if the Pledge of Allegiance student could come forward.
Colors.
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavy. Colors. Order. Colors. Ready, cut. Alright. Peace. Forward. Alright.
Thank you, Martin Luther King and Chief Julius Macias. And thank you to, I'm going to try to say her name.
No, I have the, I have the info.
Okay, Miss Alavi's going to introduce you.
I'm not going to, I can be the one that can try to do this. Because we have someone very special who has a very unique name. Quetzali Bavriga. Is that okay? Okay, well, thank you. Okay, this Quetzali is from Jefferson Elementary School and is proud to represent our community in leading the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. She is a 6th grader in Mr. O'Mara's class. Quetzali is an outstanding role model both academically and socially. Her work ethic is impeccable and contagious. She inspires students in the class to elevate their academic performance and serves her school community by helping out her former teachers before school, during her recess period, and after school as well. Quetzali is competing academically and physically as she is trying to earn a spot on the Jefferson Jaguars soccer team. She also excels in programs like Accelerated Reader, First in Math, and in the Khan Academy Math program. She is planning to attend the University of Alabama to become a cardiac surgeon. Jefferson is proud of Quetzali.
Quetzali.
Sorry. Okay, this is for you. Would you like to introduce now some people here who are
Today, who I brought with me is my principal, Mrs. Ortega, and my sixth grade teacher, Mr. Merrill, my two parents, my mom, Evangeline Barriga, and my dad, Francisco Solis.
Great. Would you all like to come up for a picture? I'll get up for a picture. Good job. All right.
Thank you, Mrs. Alavi. All right, next up, we have from Ramona High School, make sure I get it right, the percussion ensemble under the direction of Brian Gallagher. So take it away.
Well, hello, my name is Jesus Salazar. I just want to say I'm currently a senior at Ramona High School. I'm also this year's drumline captain for the Ramona Dynasty Marching Band and Color Guard. The things Marching Band has offered me are just indescribable. It has given me the opportunity to perform in front of thousands of spectators with some of the most talented musicians I know. We roughly spend 20 hours a week during the season learning challenging music and rigorous drill. But it is all worth it because at the end, once you play that last note, you realize that it was all worth it. We have two pieces to offer you tonight. The first one called Cruising Jamaican and the second, Grooving Schools. Thank you and hope you enjoy.
That was pretty awesome. Let's give it up for him one more time. Thank you, Mr. Gallagher, for sharing your students with us, and thank you, students, for playing tonight, and thank you for leaving your drums at home and bringing your stools. Otherwise, still, my ears are still coming back. Yeah. LCAP, right? LCAP. Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. All righty. So I do have several cards here, and I think most of them are on our next item. If there's any more cards, please pass them forward. We're going to get next part of the agenda. We have, it is Black History Month this month. And Lynn, are you introducing? So we have a special presentation today from a couple of special leaders in our community. So go ahead, Lynn.
Good evening, Board President Lee, Dr. Hanson, board members. We have some very special guests here tonight to help us with a tribute to Black History Month. And so if I could welcome up Miss Susan Strickland, board member of the Riverside African American Historical Society. And Miss Rose Mays, Director of Riverside Chapter, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP.
Thank you, and good evening to all of you. We have a PowerPoint, and on our PowerPoint, it's a celebration of Black History Month. And if you look at the people, there's Thurgood Marshall, Rosa Parks, and Marva Collins. Marva Collins had a school in Chicago. Rosa Parks, I think we all know what she did. She refused to get off of the bus. She refused to get up to give her seat to someone else. And Thurgood Marshall was he was on the Supreme Court with all that's been going on about the Supreme Court. If we look at the second page, we have a quote from George Burns. Anyone can steer the ship, but it takes a real leader to chart the course. And our tribute today are going to be Black educators that have taught in Riverside. And as we look at their pictures there, we see Woody Rucker, who is still a member of the staff here in Riverside, and she's done so many things. She was unable to be here tonight, but she did call to wish us a good success. So we want to have Woody there. We have her with us. Then next to her is Jess Wall and Booker Hewling, who's here with us tonight, and Hazel Russell, who was our very first African-American teacher in Riverside, and Jean Greer. And then I'm on it also. If we look at our next slide, we see Jess Wall on being the first. In 1959, Jess Wall began his teaching career at Ramona High School in Riverside Unified, becoming the first African-American male teacher in Riverside. Later years, in 1964, he was appointed Community Relations Officer in the Administrative Office of Riverside Unified School District. He was very involved during the desegregation movement. And the next slide is that of Dr. Hazel Russell. And she was the very first African-American teacher in Riverside. I remember, I believe it was in the 40s. I was very young at the time. But I remember that the community went all out to welcome her. And they had a big reception because they had never had a Black or an African-American teacher. And she was the first, and it was just thrilling that she did come and have an opportunity to teach. She did 8 years after the Riverside Unified School District implemented its school desegregation plan. she conducted a study, Dr. Russell with one of her colleagues, and the findings of the study indicated that both the minority and the majority parents supported the desegregation program. On our next video, we see Dr. Russell. She has now retired, and she was sitting with her daughters, 2 daughters, and a friend, and she happened to, the friend had been a student at one of her classes at RCC. She taught at RCC after, well, it was before she retired. Oh, I guess it was when she retired. And she also taught at Fullerton State. But she's sharing with them some of her experiences that she experienced here in Riverside. Our next one is Booker T. Hewling, and Booker is here. Would you stand, Booker, so they can all see you? Booker Telefora Hewling became the first African-American principal in the Riverside Unified School District. His first school as principal was Magnolia Elementary, and he retired in 1988 as a principal at Jackson Elementary School. So, Booker, thanks again for being here. Eleanor Jean Greer. Mrs. Greer began her career with the Riverside Unified School District in the 1950s and was the 4th African-American teacher hired by the district. She was responsible for developing Riverside's first mentally gifted minors program, and in 1962, she became the first African-American assigned to a school with a white student majority. Mrs. Greer also served as a curriculum director for the NAACP Head Start program. As the mother of 3 highly successful medical and legal professionals, she developed her life to supporting and improving the quality of life for children and adults. The Greers, Eleanor and Barnett Greer, were very, very active in Riverside. The Greer Pavilion is named in their honor. The Greer Pavilion is located on the 7th floor of City Hall. They have scholarships that they have awarded to students, Riverside students, for the past 16 years in the amount of over $26,000 in scholarships. Eleanor Greer has been named, the African American Historical Society and Greer and the group have a leadership conference. It's the Eleanor Jean Greer Leadership Academy. It's free of charge, and we have graduated over 150 students. They have taken on leadership positions in government. They are on commissions and boards. It's a free program, and it's open to people in Riverside, young adults, and we have some mature people that come. Right? They've decided they wanted to be leaders, but it's a wonderful program. It was founded, we got a grant because there were not a lot of leaders in positions of color. And we said, there needs to be some changes made. And so the Academy, we have an excellent coordinator who coordinates the program. It's about a 16-week program, and they get all kinds of experiences. So it's just really a wonderful program. And I would, if you have a young person that you know that has some potential, encourage them to take part in the Jean Greer Academy. And they do all of this because of the love of children and commitment to students and the community. Okay. Don't you want my picture? You didn't put my picture. Susan Strickland is a retired educator, and she had a very wonderful experience in teaching in the Riverside Unified School District. My first experience was at Jefferson Elementary School, and when the young lady spoke today, I thought, gee, we have something in common. And that was in 1959. And at Jefferson, I taught second grade. My teaching experience, better put these on, include the following. I taught all the elementary grades, K through 8. As a part of the district desegregation plan, integration plan, I was teaching at Emerson. The minority students and I were reassigned from Emerson to Highland School to integrate Highland. It was a challenging year. The students were, mixed. We had children in our classes that were from 2 different schools and about 3 or 4 different classrooms. They were all over the place. So we did some individualized teaching at that point. But it was an exciting experience. I was a student teacher supervisor at UCR and instructional coordinator for the ESA, which was an elementary school aid act, and I was a consultant for McGraw-Hill Publishing Company. In addition, I did a lot of other things in education. I had a wonderful, wonderful experience, and I found a quote from George Washington Carver. Do all of you know who he is? Okay. He says the secret of his success is simple. It's found in the Bible. It says, in all ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. And I said, I think that's who directed mine, because it was fun. If we look at the rest of your booklet, we see Art Littleworth, who was, we would be remiss if we didn't recognize Art Littleworth's work and what he did in working to integrate the schools here in Riverside. Against a backdrop of growth and economic progress, the civil rights issue of the time played out in a community that struggled with de facto segregation in its schools. Lowell School, transformed from an integrated to a segregated school, is burned by an arsonist. Parents at the same moment petition the school board for integration. These factors set in motion a crisis that gripped the community only 20 days after the upheaval of the Watts riot. Littleworth shepherded the school board and the community through the unfolding events, hoping to avoid violence. The resulting solution is a testament to the entire community. And the Riverside African American Historical Society would like to thank you, the Inlandia Institute, the Voice newspaper, and the NAACP. And thank you for allowing us to make the presentation.
Thank you, Mrs. Strickland and Ms. Mays, for being here today. Thanks for reminding us that not only is African American history, but it's also Riverside history. And it's pretty special to see that there's 2 individuals in the audience, and among others, I see Mr. Roberts here as well, who have contributed so greatly to that fabric of our community. And I'd be remiss without saying that On Saturday, RUSD co-hosted the kickoff for the 38th Annual Black History Parade and Expo and Car Show at Central Middle School, thanks to Dell and Carmen's foundation. So appreciate you and your contributions to keeping that history and tradition alive. So for all you in the audience, on Saturday, right, we're having a parade at 10 a.m.? 2 p.m., sorry, 2 p.m. downtown. 11, sorry, 11. 11. I'm getting my sign language skills from Mr. Roberts in the back. So we'd love to have you all join us downtown on Saturday. All right, next up, we just heard his name, Mr. Hewling from Kiwanis. And I think, Mr. Garcia, are you going to share him or is?
I'm going to ask if Ms. Adela Flores-Bertrand will come on
Please,
up and
Ms.
introduce
Flores.
Mr. Hewling.
Good afternoon, President Lee, Dr. Hansen, and members of the board. It is my pleasure to be here next to this gentleman whom you heard has accomplished many things here at our district, Mr. Booker Hewling. He is actually a member of the Kiwanis Club in Riverside, and there are many things that the Kiwanis Club in Riverside do for our district. And one of them that I'm going to talk to you about today is the dictionaries. We have a dictionary project that is a partnership with Kiwanis Club in our district. And what the Kiwanis Club does is they provide dictionaries to every single third grader at our district. And you may think about why dictionaries. I mean, we have internet. Absolutely. But for many students, these are perhaps the only books that they have at their homes. Dictionaries. What do dictionaries do for our students? Well, not only using dictionaries is one of our Common Core standards for second and third grade, okay? But besides that, dictionaries help students with promoting vocabulary knowledge, supporting them with reading comprehension, and improving spelling and writing, as well as increasing second language acquisition. That is something that I can attest to. As a second language learner, when I was in school, I clearly remember relying on my dictionary every single day to do my homework and everything else. So I know that our second language learners definitely appreciate and value the dictionaries that you provide to our schools. Just a few general statistics about what they have done for the last 11 years. The Uptown, thank you, the Uptown Kiwanis Club. He made sure that I said that because there are many Kiwanis clubs. So in Riverside, correct? So they have provided dictionaries to 29 of our schools. A total of 900 third grade teachers have received a dictionary, and 52,900 dictionaries have been distributed to RUSD third grade students in the last 11 years. So, thank you. On behalf of our students, we thank you for everything that you do. I just want to tell you something real quick. Mr. Hewling takes the time to make sure the dictionaries are delivered, that there are presentations at each school site. And if whenever we are short of dictionaries at a school because we have new students or we need them in Spanish, which, by the way, they provide them in Spanish also, he makes sure that he delivers them personally. So thank you so much for that. We have a few books that some of our third grade students have written for you and have drawn beautiful pictures. And we also have a certificate in appreciation for everything that you do. Thank you very much. So. Okay, so this is yours. You want me to hold that for you? And then I guess you're gonna, okay.
Okay. I've been invaded.
How are you?
Fine, thank you
Always
so
good to
much.
see you every year.
Oh, yeah.
You've been our student representative.
Thank you, Riverside Kiwanis Club. We appreciate that long-standing partnership with the district and helping our kids get much-needed dictionaries to help with their schoolwork. Next up, I think Ryan Lewis and Western Municipal, another great partnership that we have here in the city. I think I saw Mr. Stockton there in the back.
Good evening, President Lee, Dr. Hanson, members of the board. My pleasure to welcome Western Municipal Water District to RUSD for the first time to sponsor a Solar Cup team for our district. Solar Cup, I'm going to give you a brief synopsis, then we'll let Mr. Stockton do the rest. But Solar Cup is a competition for students throughout Southern California that partake in a 7-month program culminating with a race at Lake Skinner. For the first time, Western Municipal Water District will sponsor a team at Poly High School. We would like to thank Western Municipal Water District and especially Mr. Bob Stockton, Director, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the award and what it's going to do at Poly High School. Mr. Stockton.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, I want to thank President Lee, honorable board members, Dr. Hanson for allowing us to come tonight. I'm really excited to represent Western Municipal Water District because this is a really cool occasion. We'd like to present a check for $2,500 to Poly High School for materials or support for the 2017 Solar Cup event. We know that last year Poly placed first in the veterans class, and there's over 40 teams that compete in Southern California. That's sponsored by MWD, and we're a partner with MWD, and we want to be a partner with Riverside Unified School District on this. So we're really excited to do it. We're proud. So I'd like to give this check to Greg Annual. He has put a lot of hard work and effort over the last 3 years to develop this program. So with that, Greg. I don't know how you cash these things. I've never figured that out. They don't get in the ATM machine or something.
Let's take a...
Oh, it's not signed. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Bob, and please thank your fellow directors for supporting Poly High School. Next, Lynn, presentation regarding UCR and partnership.
Board President Lee, Dr. Hanson, board members. If you recall, at a previous board meeting this year, we had Dean Thomas from the Graduate School of Education from UCR come and give us a presentation about the looming potential teacher shortage in our nation. And so we thought we'd have him come back based on the request of the board and give us an update on that. And then he wanted to also give us an opportunity to hear some of the great partnerships we have with the university. So please welcome Dean Thomas.
Thank you, Lynn, President Lee, Dr. Hanson, members of the board. Well, thank you for welcoming me back to give you a little bit of an update. As I press. Green light is on.
You can also just say next slide, and the guys in the back will.
Okay.
Oh, wait, just saw some action.
One moved. All right, I'll give it a shot, and I'll do next slide if that doesn't work. All right, thanks. Well, the last time I was here, we did talk a little bit about the looming teacher shortage in the state of California. And what you see in front of you in the light blue line is an estimate of all the new teacher credentials that are being presented in California or for teachers being recruited outside of the state. And as you've seen, since the recession started, steady downward decline. This wasn't such a bad thing when the hiring of teachers across the state was following the same path, but now we've had a reversal where districts are hiring again, and there's an increased need for teachers. So I guess it's moving on without me. That's giving me a little bit of a message. Next slide. Okay. So the latest news is the California School Boards Association did a survey of districts across the state just last fall. And this points in a little bit of a direction of both where some of the biggest shortages are in the state, as well as how some of those shortages are being addressed. And you can kind of compare to how things are happening in Riverside to what some of the issues across the state are. And so the reporting is that in 2015, 2016, 75% of the districts across the state report that there's a teaching shortage, and 81% of those report that the shortage is worse than it was 2 years prior. The biggest shortages are at the high school and middle school level, not really surprising anybody, but 37% are also reporting shortages of middle school teachers, which is new. Teacher shortage areas are what you would expect. 88% of districts are reporting shortage in special education. Math and science are over 50%, and then a range of other areas from foreign language, bilingual education, and physical education. So what are many districts doing to try to address these shortages? Or in this case, what are they citing as the factors for the shortage? So the shrinking supply of new teachers is one of the bigger problems. Ed schools are not attracting the same numbers of students that they were attracting before the economic downturn. Students aren't coming back into teaching like they were before, and this is a challenge for all of us, not just the schools, but for districts. I think the economy put a little bit of a damper on the attractiveness of the teaching profession to new teachers, and we have a little bit of repairing to do there. But teachers retiring is the other big piece, with about 50% of districts reporting the teacher retirements are a big piece. So how are districts filling vacant teaching positions? Unfortunately, hiring teachers with substandard credentials, as the state defines those can be interns or other short period credentials. Hiring substitutes, 25% of districts are hiring that, or assigning teachers outside of the fields in which they're credentialed. The percent of districts that are reporting adopting a strategy to recruit or retain teachers. This is where I'm excited to see that some of the things happening across the state are what we're trying to do with the district as well. So working with teacher preparation programs to coordinate teacher placement, working with teacher preparation programs to communicate the district's anticipated hiring needs. And one of the other pieces here that I think is really important is working together to communicate what's great about working in the district and trying to establish pipelines from the teacher preparation programs to the classroom. And I'll explain a little bit how we're trying to do that. This just gives you a little bit of a sense of how enrollments at UCR have responded. The bottom, kind of in the middle, is in 2013-14. That was kind of our low point of teacher production, but we've seen increases each year since in special education teachers, the general education teachers, more and more also simultaneously earning master's degrees, as well as our credential programs. What is UCR doing in this area to try to address the shortage? The first one is we've really tried to tackle the challenge in special education. One of the biggest pieces in special ed is it typically takes students longer to complete a program. They don't get paid more for being a special education teacher, and many would consider it, particularly the teachers, a particularly challenging job. So we've really tried to streamline our program. Students now enter and they'll earn both a mild moderate and a moderate severe credential. They'll have student teaching placements in both of those environments, and that'll prepare them well for a range of different positions in the district. We find that a lot of the special education candidates come in without knowing whether or not they want to work with students with autism or more severe disabilities, and having them dive in and develop the capacity to work with both students is really helping us streamline and recruit more teachers. We've also just started partnerships with the 4 community colleges in the Riverside Community College District to develop a 4-year pipeline in mathematics, physical sciences, and in special education, so a student can either start out at UCR or in one of the community colleges, and within 4 years complete a content degree and a teacher credential. This is kind of not the way things usually work in California, but because of the shortage, there are grants available and a lot of encouragement to move in this direction. When I met with the science faculty at UCR, I was particularly encouraged that the math, the chemists, and the physicists all, kind of came together and said, we really need to kind of do our part to increase the number of teachers coming in. And so we're moving forward with a 4-year degree in physical sciences, which should allow somebody to teach chemistry, physics, and mathematics at the end of the program. And we're really quite excited about that. But there's no one pathway. I think what we have to have is multiple pathways. So we're also working with all the departments to build minors or tracks so that students that are already enrolled in the physical sciences can decide that they want to become teachers in their junior year and prepare to be interns in classrooms. So the last thing I just wanted to touch upon a little bit is, what are we doing together? One of the slides that I showed, this is one of the trends in the state, and I think a particularly important one, is for school districts to work with teacher preparation programs on building these kinds of pipelines. So one of the things that we've really been emphasizing with Assistant Superintendent Ibarra is more coordinated efforts on placing student teachers in good placements. The research literature really suggests that a placement in a positive organizational environment, that is really functioning, helps both keep teachers in the profession and to get them to come, to want to teach in schools that are like the one that they're in. So we've been working together to come up with different kinds of plans to try to have more stable placements of our student teachers. We've also been working on more coordination on placing undergraduates in classrooms. In thinking about a pipeline, we don't want to think just about kind of post baccalaureate credential programs and placing those teachers. We want to think about, placing our freshman students, our sophomore students who want to observe classroom teaching, do some tutoring, do some mentoring in our RUSD schools so they get familiar with the culture, see the strength of what's going on in the district, and it becomes kind of almost automatic for them for this to be a place that they think that they might want to go into. As I mentioned, we're doing a lot of mutually advertising of each other's strengths. So the different programs that the district has in place to try to recruit new teachers, such as some of the loan forgiveness programs that you have, we can advertise that these are available for teachers that come into the district. And at the same time, at career fairs, you can tell, students who might be in high school that are showing up that, going through UCR is a good pathway to become a teacher in the district. And finally, one of the things I'm most excited about is something that we're developing in collaboration with the district, and this is kind of a UCR alumni mentor program. You are kind of moving forward right now to create, a new integrated kind of induction and evaluation program. We have kind of a strong interest in providing some mentoring support on the guide at your side kind of component of this. Where can you get support where you don't have any feeling that somebody might be evaluating you? So we're working along with the district and the Alumni Mentoring Association, which has a lot of UCR teachers in the district, to try to provide mentors for our students before they leave UCR, and then in the summer prior to coming in to the classroom, and then during their first year of teaching, so that they can make these connections with current teachers or retired teachers and help solidify a support network for them. Also, I believe that you all have a green sheet which lists a number of the other connections between the Graduate School of Education and the school district, and we're really excited about continuing the development of our collaboration. So that's all I really have, and I'm open to any questions.
Thank you, Dean Smith. Ms. Lock-Dawson has something for you.
Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I think it's always important for us to hear developments and what's going on in education, graduate education. I had a couple questions for you. On the integrated program with RCCD, so it's a 4-year degree, but they still have to get the credential after that, or can you, right?
Yeah, so the really new part is integration of earning the degree while earning the credential at the same time. Okay. So now where kind of the student teaching component happens, post-baccalaureate, we're integrating that into the senior year. So students will take summer courses between their junior and senior year, but would start their student teaching before they start their senior year. And this is to try to reduce the cost of earning a teaching credential, 4 years instead of 5 years, and to really grab a hold of the students while they're completing their degree requirements.
That's great. And the pathways that we have in our high schools, I think you had a slide up there regarding a career pathway for our high schools. I know we have a child development pathway at North High School, but I'm not familiar with any of our other ones. Maybe my staff can tell me, not you, but I don't know. Have we got?
Well, so I know about the pathway at North, and I think this really provides a good opportunity for us, because when I first came in, to this position, all we really had was a post-baccalaureate program, and that's kind of hard to kind of hook up with high school students who might be interested in teaching. But with the development of kind of undergraduate degrees and these pathways, it makes much more sense to try to have a pathway that starts, at the high school level and brings students into UCR. So I'm really looking forward to exploring some of those opportunities more now.
That's fantastic. And you have to tell us any other way we can work with you and help to get more of our teachers trained and in our classrooms and to stay there too.
Great, thank you. Well, we have some really good partners.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Farouk?
Thank you, President Lee. So, Dean Thomas, I want to commend your leadership on helping bridge this important need. I'm sorry, Dean Smith. Thank you so much for your leadership on helping bridge these important partnerships. I just want to make a couple of comments. One is I know that we're also working with our California School Employees Association members on training them also for potential educator opportunities, and so that's another strategy. One other thing is Vice Chancellor Michael Pisani is, we shared with him about that NSF National Science Foundation grant that we're jointly pursuing between UCR and RUSD, and so I just want you to be aware that his office is willing to lend some additional support on the grant assistance, and he has a relationship with the person who's administering it nationally, so I just wanted to make sure you guys also connect and follow up on that as well.
Thank you very much.
Anything else from the board? All righty, thank you, Dean Smith. We always appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you, President Lee.
Thank you. All right, next up, thank you for waiting patiently, to our high school representatives. First up from Abraham Lincoln High School, and I see her in her gear, Ms. Tyler.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi.
Make sure you pull that mic down so we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Hanson and members of the board. My name is Lucretia Tyler. I'm a senior at Lincoln High School, and I'm so excited to have the opportunity to speak before you today. Since this is my first time speaking before the board, I would like to give you a little background information about myself. I have been a student at Lincoln High School for 2 years. My favorite activity at Lincoln is yearbook. I love being a part of this class because we get to take pictures and interview students. After graduation in June, I plan to attend RCC to study music and education to become a choir teacher. Now to begin my report. Our new semester is off to a great start. The administrative team is working hard towards making sure Lincoln has positive exposure. We have ordered a new electronic marquee and a scoreboard for our gym, which will give our school a new updated look. Basketball season is upon us, and boys basketball is currently 2-1. Our coach, Mr. Smith, is doing a great job working with our students, and our team and our students are optimistic about the remainder of the season. At the end of January, we had our second ELAC meeting of the year. This meeting went well. Our ELAC coordinator, Ms. Voorhees, guided parents through portions of the school plan. Lincoln has recently adopted a new writing platform called Think Circa. So far, 81% of our students have registered accounts. Last week, we had another coffee with the principal. These meetings have been a success, and administration is building stronger relationships with the parents. Our first responders class is going well, and we are planning for a health fair in the spring where Lincoln students will get hands-on experience checking blood pressure and taking vitals. Our auto tech class is finally up and running, and classes are meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays after school from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. and every other Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. Lastly, Lincoln welcomes our newest staff member, our brand new CTE auto tech teacher, Ms. Jasmine Jaime. Ms. Jaime comes to us from the Urupa Unified School District, and we are pleased to welcome her into the Lincoln family. Thank you for this opportunity. This concludes my report. Are there any questions? Respectfully, Lucretia Tyler.
I don't see any questions, but
No?
excellent job, and thank you for the report.
Thank you so much.
Next up, representing Education Option Center and the Riverside Virtual School, Ms. Abear.
Good evening, Board President Mr. Lee, Superintendent Dr. Hanson, and members of the board. My name is Madison Abear, and I am representing the Educational Option Center. First off, it is my pleasure to report that students, teachers, and counselors from EOC have participated in the past 4 think tank meetings, the last of which came to a close just this afternoon. EOC will be holding a mock WASC visit on March 1st in preparation for 2 upcoming WASC visits for Raincross and Summit View on March 19th through the 22nd and March 26th through the 29th. All members of the board will receive their invitations once the schedule is set with the visiting WASC chairs. On February 4th, EOC's Model United Nations took a field trip to RCC to compete in the Model UN conference. This topic, the topic for their competition was eradicating forced labor and child labor. This competition simulated a true Model United Nations conference and gave students the priceless hands-on experience that they would have on a real United Nations. International business students will be presenting their business ideas for the Diamond Challenge on February 25th. The Diamond Challenge is an entrepreneurship contest, and all of our students will be pitching a business idea that they came up with in their groups. one of their business ideas was to provide birthday cakes for children who have low-income families. And we've been preparing for this for months, and it's all culminating on the 25th. As part of the preparation, they're going to be taking a field trip to the Amazon warehouse for a tour and Q&A on February 16th. This Wednesday, February 8th, is the 80th Annual Student Speakers Contest, which is hosted by Lions International. Students will be presenting their speeches on the thought-provoking topic, "Is the right to privacy a threat to our national security?" EOC's art classes took a joint field trip to the Broad Museum of Contemporary Art on February 3rd last week. We saw a 20-foot wide balloon dog that was made of metal, but it looked like a real balloon dog. And our game design classes from EOC and Arlington will be participating in their second game jam in March. You might remember me mentioning the first one a couple months ago. In the game jam, students will work together in teams to create video games in a program called Scratch. Finally, you may have forgotten due to our initial obscurity, but EOC has an up-and-coming basketball team. And thanks to a passionate coach, dedicated team, LCAP funding, and our +2 program, EOC now has an amazing basketball team that is powering through the league. Thank you for your time. Any questions?
No questions, but always a pleasure. Thank you, Ms. Aber. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Spoke too soon. Mr. Hunt.
Where do you all play your games?
I think we play in the other schools' courts, but I could be wrong.
Okay, and we failed to give you a gym, so that's probably the right answer.
We do have courts on campus that we practice on, but they're outdoors, and
Okay.
but we don't hold competitions there, I don't think.
What's the name of the EOC mascot?
I don't know.
Dr. Dietz, you
Phone
back
a
there?
friend.
I just wondered. I know we're the isotopes at the STEM school, I think, aren't we? So
The
I just wonder.
isotopes?
Yeah.
No, it's the androids.
Androids. I'm sorry.
Androids.
That's right, yeah.
What is it? You don't know.
He doesn't know.
We can get with you in communications on a
Hey,
brand.
well, naming contest afterwards. Everybody submit their name. Great to hear. And when's your next game? Do you know that?
I don't know that either.
But Mr. Dietz will find out for us, won't he?
I hope so.
We want to come. We want to come see you. So.
Wednesday.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aber. Next up from Arlington High School, Ms. Navarro.
President Lee, Dr. Hanson, board members. My name is Brianna Navarro, and tonight I'm excited to share with you many of the amazing things taking place at Arlington, involving some of the wonderful people we have in our community. As you may know, February is Black History Month, and as a kickoff event, Arlington High School's African American Heritage Club, in collaboration with our Air Force JROTC, Cheer Squad, Lion Zumba, Campus Beautification Club, California Scholarship Federation, and Journalism class, hosted a Unity Luncheon on Thursday, February 2nd. AAHC invited members from every extracurricular club on campus to attend the luncheon as a way to kick off Black History Month. The lunch started with a solo song from our cafeteria supervisor, Barbara Durham Whitman, followed by the student members of AAHC giving short presentations during the luncheon to highlight and acknowledge the historical contributions of various African Americans. Students in attendance also had the opportunity to hear from the president/CEO of Riverside County Black Chamber of Commerce, Pepe Jackson, who spoke about the need for young people to come together with their differences to build a stronger future for their communities and their families. The Unity Luncheon was attended by 100 students and staff and was a successful first-time event. We also kicked off the month of February with senior events and presentations of senior activities that we shared with our femurs, activities such as prom, grad night, and graduation. As you may recall, this year's theme is Remember the Name, and in keeping with those ideals, I'd like to share with you some of the student groups and teachers who continue to give Arlington such a positive name by all that they do in our community. Our boys soccer, girls water polo, and wrestling programs are competing for playoff positions. 2 groups of students won their category for RUSD's History Day. Our mock trial team is preparing for their upcoming events, and our dance team continues to represent us well at their competitions. I'd also like to mention a few of our teachers who have gone above and beyond in what they do. Diego Cabrera, John Peak, April Rodriguez, who are English teachers, sponsored a Newcomer Night Out this past Friday, February 3rd. Newcomer Night Out was a night where teachers invited their newcomer English students to a varsity basketball game. The goal of this was to strengthen newcomer English students' school awareness and to welcome them into our school community. We continue to recognize students for their contributions to our community. 113 students were recognized during the Student of the Month luncheon last week, and this coming Friday, we will celebrate 825 students who finished first semester with a GPA of 3.0 and higher. That's nearly half their school. I'd like to close by revisiting a few items that we shared last time I was here. A question that was asked about regarding claw marks, if students were able to access the number of points they have. Students received an email to their RUSD Learns account with instructions to download the Hero app and how to log in to keep track of their points. To increase awareness about claw marks and to promote student involvement, our ASB started to do games of the week so students can start earning points for coming to our games. Our winter pep rally was a success. We had 200 8th grade AVID students from Shamawa and Miller attend. We had the theme of Lions Under the Big Top to go with our midwinter, which, by the way, is this Saturday. Lastly, you are all invited to Lion Pride Night on Monday, February 27th from 5 to 7 p.m. This night is designed to provide all sorts of information for our incoming freshman class. Come join us in welcoming the Lion class of 2021. Thank you.
Thank you, Brianna. Any questions from the board? All right, thank you very much. And last but not least, from Martin Luther King High School, Ms. DeBonis. Welcome back.
Hi. Okay, so good evening, President Lee, Dr. Hanson, and esteemed members of the board. Here are some things that have happened since I spoke to you guys last. So before semester finals, our Link Crew program organized tutoring sessions on the subjects of Math 1, English, and Biology. We had over 300 freshmen come to at least one of our tutoring sessions. At those sessions, the freshmen were given pamphlets on what every freshman should know. They included like studying tips and just ways to get through finals week, especially because it's so hard, like the first time you have to take finals. Also, our CTE programs competed for the very first time in the Skills USA competition, and we have 15 students going on to state. In mid-February, we have 40 of our AVID students going up to Northern California, and they're going to meet with some King alumni and do college tours, and it's super excited, and I know a lot of them are super pumped to go. Also, in the first 2 weeks of March, we have our spring musical. It is Fiddler on the Roof, and it will be taking place the first 2 Thursdays, 2 Fridays, and 2 Saturdays at 7 o'clock p.m. Also, this past month, ASB and BSU teamed up to celebrate Dr. King's birthday. We turned it into like a full-on birthday week, and throughout the week, each of like the classes got quotes of Dr. King, and the teachers were encouraged to implement it into their lesson plans. And then on that Friday, the kids could come to ASB and write down their dream, and then once they wrote down their dream, it was displayed on the wall, and they all got a piece of birthday cake. And it was just super cool, and it had such good vibes, and everyone just really loved that. Also, going into Black History Month, our BSU is planning our annual Unity Luncheon where everyone can get together, eat, and each club president is encouraged to select a quote of Dr. King's. And during the luncheon, they have to talk about how they believe that quote applies to our campus and our culture. And it's just super exciting. Also, our ROTC's Cyber Patriot team is one of 11 in California, and we are also ranked 67 out of the 1,600 in the entire nation, which is in the top 5%. Also, going into March, we have our King Hire members, which has been my favorite thing that I was ever able to do in high school. And it's where the juniors are able to sit down with a veteran, whether from the Vietnam War, Gulf War, or the Korean War, and even some from World War II, and they're able to ask them questions about their experiences and even like ask them how they feel about current day stuff. And it is just the most amazing day. It starts at 9 a.m. on March 17th, and you guys are all invited. It is so, so cool. And then in the sports world, our boys soccer team just clinched the Big 8 League Championship title, and this is the first time it's happened in over 10 years. So it's super exciting for them. And then we have our girls basketball team that is 24-1 right now, and they're also battling it out for league champions. And then our girls water polo team is trying to defend their CIF title. And altogether, our varsity athletes have an average 3.41 GPA. And then one of our very own, Lauren Vitort, she just received the status of United States Swimming Scholastic All-American. And not only that, but she's able to maintain a 4.6 GPA. Thank you, guys. Any questions?
Thank you, Nicole. No questions, thank you. And all four of you ladies are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but if you have to get back and get some work done for tomorrow, we understand. So thank you all for being here. Next, we have Dr. Hanson with the superintendent's report.
Thank you, President Lee, and I too would like to thank all the students that have participated in this evening's board meeting, from Ramona High School's drumline to our student speakers. We certainly have incredible talent here in this district, and it's nice to look out, community members, and see so many of you here this evening to come to our board member meeting. We appreciate your support. And I want to begin by thanking Susan Strickland and Rose Mays. Thanks for being here and for so and for so eloquently paying tribute to Black History Month. As we know, African American history is U.S. history, and you did a great job this evening helping us understand its Riverside Unified's history as well. And we're just grateful for you bringing this forward to us this evening. And as was mentioned, I too enjoyed last Saturday's event at the annual Black History Kickoff Expo or kickoff event. And I look forward to this Saturday being part of the parade with all of us as we have a chance to go and be part of the African American Black History Parade and Expo. Thank you again for being here this evening. This week, many of you may know, or maybe of you may not know, but this is the week that is referred to as Nationally School Counseling Week, helping students realize their potential. And this is sponsored by the American School Counseling Association and focuses on the contribution of school counselors and highlights the tremendous impact that they have in helping students achieve success here at school and certainly to plan their career for beyond high school. We're grateful we have dozens and dozens of school counselors. We're thankful for all that they do each and every day, and we recognize them and their achievements this week. And on that same thing of counseling, you may have heard, but congratulations goes to Poly High School counselors, that team over there, for becoming a model program recognized by the American School Counseling Association. It's referred to as ASCA. This award recognizes schools that are committed to delivering a comprehensive, data-driven school counseling program and an exemplary educational environment. Now here's the cool thing. Prior to this recognition, only 6 schools in the state of California have ever received this distinction. And Poly's recognition makes them one of only 2 high schools in Riverside County to have ever been awarded this national recognition. And so kudos to all of our counselors, specifically Poly High School Counseling Program. Yeah, let's give it. And board members, actually it's July 2017, I believe it's in the state of Colorado. They will be recognized, but we'll be sure to bring that team here before that July recognition so that we can recognize them here at one of our board meetings. And last but certainly not least, we have so many wonderful partners in our city. And I had the chance about 2 weeks ago to have a one-on-one meeting with our chief of police, Sergio Diaz. And in that meeting, he reached into his pocket, pulled out an envelope, and I opened it up, and it was a check from the Riverside Police Foundation for $1,000. And he had been in communication with Ramona High School, And he said, Dave, I'd like to be sure that the track team gets this at Ramona High School. Would you please give it to them? And we have a short video to show you just exactly what that Police Foundation has done for us in our district at Ramona High School. So if you'd please play the video.
Precisely to help young people in our city develop their full potential. This year, we made a donation to the Ramona High School track team.
So he decided to give us $1,000 to help pay for these athletic shoes for our cross-country and track students.
I got some Asics. Before this, I had some Nikes, pretty old, a little torn up.
A good pair of running shoes is like a key component. If the sole is worn out, it doesn't really help you at all.
My old shoes are pretty flat, and these give me a lot more support, so I'm pretty grateful to the police department for these shoes.
Oh, just like a big thank you, because we really need these shoes.
I'm definitely grateful for these shoes, just because they're free and I get to use them all season long.
Thank you, Riverside Police Department.
And again, we're just so grateful to all of the partnerships with Riverside Unified School District, specifically tonight to the Police Foundation, grateful to the generosity of our Chief of Police, Sergio Diaz. At this time, as part of my superintendent's report, I'd like to remind the board that going forward in the future, when there's a board subcommittee, we do want to have report outs, give you the chance of trustees to report out in this meeting. And so I'd like to turn the time over right now. We had an operations subcommittee a week ago, and two of our trustees are part of that, Dr. Angelo Farouk and Mr. Tom Hunt. And I'd like to give Mr. Hunt a few moments to report out on the operations subcommittee that they held with staff just last week.
Thank you, Dr. Hanson. And Dr. Farouk, anything you want to add when I'm finished, whatever, is fine. We did meet on several things. It was very well prepared by your staff. A couple of things that I want to mention. The landscape redesign projects at Thomas Jefferson, Matthew Gage, and Sierra Middle Schools. Going forward, Mrs. Allaby will sit in on that committee and help with its design. We're moving forward, and this will all come to the board, with a redesign. This one's at Sierra. That will include a running track and some PAR equipment, if you recall what that is. Special education classes, we have a strong special education program at Sierra, and we think a lot of this equipment will be used by those kids in particular. The Gage project, we just emphasize, I know Mrs. Allaby will bring her expertise to this, that we want, particularly at Gage, we want to highlight Riverside pride. We want to remind folks that live in that area and those young people attending that school why it's called Matthew Gage and what his impact and importance to our city is. We hope to be working with Riverside Public Utilities as a partner on this project. Besides just drought-resistant and drought-tolerant plants, there's going to be just an opening up of the area a little more that will hopefully take away the institutional look and provide some lighting and better pathways and sitting areas for visitors. But it's going to be very nice. Jefferson, Jefferson taught us something, and we asked, and Kevin did a great job of bringing this forward. Kevin Hauser has a database, fellow members, of an aerial of every single school. And as we're going through our workshop last week and trying to decide, well, I'm making this up, is Jefferson or Jackson more deserving, or how do we do that? When you see an aerial of a school, it really helps you. And Jefferson, which is, if you recall, is bordered by California to the south, Arlington to the north, and then Jefferson along the left side there, is a real mess. It's just like things have been dumped over there over the years. One of the things besides modulars that we need to pay attention to is that several of the classrooms are the old hospital ward of Camp Anza. You know that Madison School has, their auditorium is the old chapel of Camp Anza. Sierra used to have parts of Camp Anza on its campus till it burned down, and there's other campuses that had it. But certainly we need something we need to pay attention to, and it really just creates a chopped up play area. There's really no play area that you can really call the play area. There's a little bit over here, there's a little bit over there. So we're learning, but I think having these at our next meetings and workshops will be helpful. We also talked about the potential development of the city on the north region. Dr. Hanson has reached out to to the city on this and asked us to be included where there might be a school site if of interest to the board. As you know, there's been some discussion about a couple of schools over there, and so we're just staying abreast of that. We had an update, even though we're talking about getting rid of modulars, the upcoming school year will require us to add some modulars to certain campuses because of potential increase in student populations there. So we need to do that. Also, and I'm surprised we missed this, and I almost apologize to Lincoln. Their food distribution, their hot lunches, has been provided in a shipping container all this time, a leaky shipping container. And so they're going to at least get a nice new modular for that. We talked about district surplus properties. That will all come back to the board, just what should be included. And we did talk about, I love the way they put this, I had to ask Mays, what was this again? Future district consolidation project. That's also called district office. And again, we'll bring you back to the board. There's some ideas that have been ordered by the staff on a couple different sites for the board to look at and consider. Mays will be bringing together a report on how such could be funded outside of Measure O general obligation funds. We talked a little bit about boundaries as well that will come back. And let's see. We also, to Mrs. Locke Dawson's question about farming, we did find out that Mays and Sergio met with those folks that spoke to us last time that came to our meeting about farming. They're a little bit different than they presented, but they do not have an interest in farming the poly land. There is some interest in farming the 20 acres. The gentleman we were working with, Patricia, the former Secretary of Agriculture. Yes, he remains interested, but apparently President Trump has called him with interest in the U.S. Department of Agriculture, so he's been a little preoccupied. However, we did share, and it's for the board to decide, but we would like the staff to look into meeting with utilities about having that site be a solar site that would be direct meter credit back to our campuses. And with some effort on our part, that can be done. And that's about it. You want to add, Dr. Fruit?
No, nothing to add.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. And again, thanks to all the trustees who from time to time sit on various subcommittees, and we'll be sure to give you an opportunity to report out in this portion of the agenda going forward. And so presently, that concludes my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Hanson. Thank you, Dr. Fruch, and Mr. Hunt for serving on that committee. Next up, we have, we always like to hear from more of our partners out in the district. And in this meeting, we're going to hear first up from the PTA, and PTA President Gina Cheadle is not here, but her very capable.
What about public input?
Oh, sorry. Hold on one second, Adriana. I do have about 16 cards. 15 of those cards are looking to address the public hearing, so we'll address those at that time. I do have one card from Emmanuel Almond, who does not indicate what he is here to speak on. So if he is here and wishes to address us at public input.
He's actually with REACH. So he's
Okay.
one of our students. He has a
Okay. Mr. Almond, is that okay if we hold your comments to the public hearing? Yeah? All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, so now, thank you, Mrs. Alavi. Now we'll hear from the PTA. Thank you, Ms. Carriel, for being here.
Good evening, President Lee, Dr. Hanson, and members of the board. It's nice to see you again. It's been a little while. I'm here reporting for Riverside Council PTA in Gina Cheadle, our president's absence. First thing that we wanted to report to you is that our Riverside Council Reflections Award ceremony is coming up on Wednesday, February 22nd. That will be at Central Middle School in the Louis J. Vanderzeel Hall. The doors will open at 6 p.m. and the ceremony will begin at 6:30. An official invitation has been sent out to all of the board members. We want to make sure that you're all invited, as well as Dr. Hanson, and all to the winners and their parents and families. We will be having musical performances by student artists that submitted musical entries to the contest. I can't tell you more details than that about the winners, but I can tell you that I received today some good news from the Riverside County level of the competition that Riverside Unified will be represented by at least 10 winners that have gone on to the 23rd District and will be receiving awards. Secondly, I'd like to report that Riverside Council PTA will be holding our elections for the 2017-2019 term. Those elections will be conducted on April 19th at our association meeting at 9 a.m. We will be having our nominating committee has convened, and they have put together a slate of officers that will be presented. That slate will be made public record at our association meeting February 15th, which is our Founders Day. It is also the 120th anniversary of PTA. So we want to also invite you all. Hopefully you've received the invitation to attend Founders Day. Also, I'd like to report that the Riverside California State PTA, in conjunction with several other local PTAs, is going to be holding arts convenings. They're being held all over Southern California. The next one is February 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Ethan Chase Middle School in Menifee. Those are opportunities for PTA leaders, parent volunteers, and community partners to come together for a day of training, panels, table talks, and networking, all surrounding arts and integrating arts and education. Riverside Council membership numbers currently are at 4,980. We are a little bit short. Our membership goal for this time of year is about 6,000 members. So we are encouraging anyone who hasn't joined their local PTA to please consider joining. And we are also proud to announce that Poly High School PTSA has a student president. I don't know if some of you may already know that, but we wanted to make sure that everybody else knows. So that's something to celebrate in our district, to have a student president. Finally, we are very excited to announce that Mod Pizza partnered with us on a kickoff fundraiser. The fundraiser, they actually reached out to us. We didn't reach out to them. And from starting their grand opening on Arlington and Indiana location, they wanted to donate the proceeds of that first day's sales to some local nonprofit organization, and they chose Riverside Council PTA. From that, we earned over $2,800 to be designated into our scholarship fund for seniors that are graduating. And I can't tell you to eat there, but I can tell you that we did eat there, and it was delicious. So, thank you very much. That concludes our report. Do you have any questions?
No questions. Thank you so much. Next up, Mr. Rudd, if you can negotiate that obstacle course in front of you. So Mr. Rudd is the president of our local CSEA, Chapter 506, and he'll give us the report on the latest and greatest.
Good evening, Dr. Hanson, President Lee, members of the board. Chapter 506 has been busy the last couple months. We had our executive board elections in December, and our new board is our first vice president is David Tovar from grounds maintenance. Our second vice president is Michael Green from the RT department. Our third vice president is Suzette Williams. She's an instructional aide in special education. She's got the flu, so she's not here tonight. Our chief union steward is Carrie Aldis, instructional aide special education, and she's also sick. We're going down big time these days. Our new treasurer is Winona Nusser from the budget department. Our secretary is Colleen Harrison. She's a health desk assistant. And our chapter communications officer, Bernie Holt, he's a barrel transcriber. And our past president, everybody wave. He's in our communication, and myself, I'm from grounds. And together we'll be working with the district to make our RUSD and our schools a better place for California, because we're the best. In January, we had our elections for our negotiating team. And the team includes Peggy Rich, she's an elementary kitchen operator. Bernie Holt, he's our C-Pro. Anna Mendez, she's a night lead custodian. She's not here because she's working tonight. And they will be joining Carrie Aldis and myself to work for the negotiations team with our RUSD, to work for the classified workers for the district. We also elected delegates and alternates to represent Riverside Unified School District for the Central Labor Council of San Bernardino and Riverside. They are Mel Rich from Hardscape Department, and our alternates are Colleen Harrison and Sandy Garcia, and Sandy Garcia is from the Facilities Department. They will be joining our third vice president, Suzette Williams, for the CLC. These members will be working hard this next year for all the classified employees at RUSD to make all of our students ready and prepared to learn every day to become our next leaders. And I want to thank the board and the administration's commitment to the classified staff of RUSD. Together, we're going to keep this district growing and for our students. So thank you very much for all your support for classified employees. Short and sweet.
Mr. Rudd. Mr. Hunt does have a comment. Mr. Hunt has a comment for you.
Mr. Lee, I failed to mention that Mr. Rudd attended is a regular member of our committee on the operations. And just to show his help was that the landscape architect, had called out for sycamore trees. And Dan reminded us how those trees are just a mess and they tear things up. So we're changing it because of Dan being there. But it was very helpful to have Dan a part of that.
Well, good.
Can't stand sycamores, and we appreciate that.
Well, we're glad you're here, and congratulations to you and all your other fellow elected representatives from CSCA.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rudd.
Have a good night.
Next, we are at the consent calendar part of the agenda. All the items listed on the consent calendar are considered by the board to be routine and will be enacted by the board in one motion unless a board member should choose to pull an item on the agenda. Ms. Alvey?
I'll move for approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Thank you. Please vote. Ms. Alvey again. Thank you. That motion carries unanimously. All right. Dr. Holmes? Dr. Holmes is going to introduce our first petitioner to the podium. And before she introduces our first speaker, I just want to remind the audience, we do have 15 cards. That's all I have. So unless we get any more cards in the next minute, we're going to limit it to those 15. With 15 speakers, that will put us past, I think, our 20 minutes we usually allocate for each, for an item. But with the board's consent, we can go over that. So I'll entertain a motion to go over the 20 minutes.
So move.
Motion by Dr. Farouk. Do you have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mrs. Alavi. Please vote. All right. Thank you. That motion carries. So in an effort to try to run an efficient meeting and with as many speakers, we want to make sure we do hear from all of you. So normally we would allow 3 minutes, but respectfully I'd ask that we lower that to 2 minutes, and hopefully we can all hear from you. Would that be okay? Okay, great. So first up, go ahead, Dr. Holmes, introduce our first item for the public hearing, and then I'll open it up.
Good evening, President Hunt, Dr. Hanson, and members of the board. The first public hearing that you'll open tonight will be for REACH Leadership Academy. And so I stand to introduce to you Dr. Virgie Renty, who will present for REACH Leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Holmes. All righty, well, you're a popular lady today.
Hi.
Well,
Good
welcome
afternoon.
here. I think
Hi.
I have to open up the public hearing before you get started. Is that correct? All right,
Is that-
so I don't have a gavel, but I hereby open the public hearing regarding the REACH Leadership Academy.
Thank you. I do have a question. Is it 2 minutes that we have, or?
You do not have 2
I
minutes.
only have 12.
You have more than that. but
Okay, I
we'd
can
ask
just
the
get started.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So, good evening, Mr. Lee, Dr. Hanson, and members of the board. I'm Virgie Renty. I'm the founder, CEO, and executive director of REACH Leadership STEAM Academy. I am here on behalf of our board, our teachers, our staff, our students, and parents seeking charter school renewal for the next 5 years. 5 years ago, we sought to raise a charter school that was diverse, that focused on character building and STEM education in the elementary school setting. We wanted a school where teachers' voices could be heard and a place that parents could have a seat at the table where decisions on governance were being had. Since that time, our teachers and staff have worked tirelessly to raise the achievement level of all of our students. For example, our teachers provide after-school tutoring for free, and our intervention staff work one-on-one and in small groups with our underperforming students. In our 5-year history, we have outgrown 5 school sites, and we currently have over 450 students on our roster with a waiting list. Our demographics show that nearly half of our students are out of district, and over half are of Hispanic ethnicity. We are proud to serve a very diverse population, with nearly 30% of our students being African American, which is the highest in our state and even within our local district. In terms of state priorities, over half of our students, or nearly half, are from low-income families, and about 10% are English learners. As it relates to achievement, students enrolled at REACH for 3 years or more scored 8 percentage points higher on the Smarter Balance assessment in mathematics than their other REACH peers. Students enrolled at REACH for 3 or more years are currently performing at a 74% achievement or proficiency rate in ELA, language arts, and an 81% proficiency rate in mathematics on STAR assessments. Over the next 5-year period, REACH is seeking to serve students in grades transitional kindergarten through 8th at the Grace United Methodist Church, where construction is currently underway. We will continue with a STEM focus and on closing the achievement gap for all of our underserved youth. Our enrollment projections include over 500 students in year 6 and over 800 students by year 10. In terms of the instructional minutes, we will continue to extend our day and extend our year with 183 days of school per year and over 65,000 instructional minutes per year as well, which exceeds district and state standards. As it relates to our budget forecast a steady growth in out years where REACH's unrestricted fund balance increases to 38% in year 10. So on behalf of our board, our students, and our teachers and our staff, we would just like to thank you for the tremendous opportunity we've had over the last 5 years to serve the students of this community and other surrounding communities. That being said, I'd like to introduce, there's about 6 of our speakers. They are our stakeholders that would like to express their feelings toward our renewal. Thank you.
Thank you. Are you Violet Smith?
Sorry?
Are you Violet?
No, I am Carla Sanchez.
All right, Carla Sanchez, go ahead.
Okay.
2
Good
minutes.
evening, Mr. President, Dr. Hanson, and members of the board. My name is Carla Sanchez. I teach 4th and 6th grade math, and I'm the team lead for 4th through 6th grade at REACH Leadership Academy. This is my 4th year teaching at REACH, and let me tell you, I am never planning on leaving this incredible school that I have been fortunate enough to teach at. REACH is my second home. I have a family at REACH. I am loved, supported, trusted, and know that what I am doing makes a difference. The culture that Dr. Renti has created is one where anyone who enters our school, whether it be a student, parent, staff, educator, will feel welcomed and supported. As educators, we are a true team who help and guide each other. When we are down, we are there to pick each other up. And when we are elated over the growth and achievements that our students have made, we are there to celebrate and rejoice in all their accomplishments. We are a family. REACH is a family. And this family is here to let you know that we need to keep our school going, to continue to be there for all of our students who need us and love us as much as we love them. Together, we can create the future leaders of America. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Violet Smith. Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Hansen, members of the board, and community members. As I said, my name is Violet Smith. I'm a second grade classroom teacher. I am a data manager, a teacher mentor, and an administrative designee at Reach Leadership and STEAM Academy. Now, my responsibilities at Reach, as numerous as they are, often elicit an insinuation of overburdening. And for those of you who don't work at Reach, I can understand this sentiment. You see, Reach has 5 core values: leadership, excellence, service, responsibility, and resilience. I work in a school where my excellence, my service, and my leadership are not only recognized, but they are utilized to directly implement our mission. How many educators in the house this evening, current or former, can truly say they feel their talents were used to directly implement their school's vision? I recently read that the average teaching career is now just 3.5 short years. Exit surveys indicate what sociologist Karl Marx described centuries ago: an alienation with one's work. Now, because I work in an environment where I'm supported and I feel connected to our mission, I am able to perform so effectively that 100% of my students are on or above grade level in math and ELA. For those of you in the house tonight who have students who don't attend Reach, I would be questioning, if I were you, why they don't. I will leave you with this. Those who invest financially expect a return. Those who invest emotionally want to contribute. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Henson, and members of the boards. My name is Mrs. Atwan, and I'm a parent here at Reach. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be part of this school. It took us 5 years to jump from school to look for the perfect school for our kids. What are we looking for? We were looking for a school that offered higher education, leadership, integrity, family, culture, and diversity, and we found it all here at Reach. Here at Reach, each teacher work because they want to be here. It's more than a job. It's a dream to them. We feel it as parents. You can see the room is full with the parents who support our school. We want to be this dream to continue. Please help us. Help the school keep going. The teachers tutor in their own time. When they see the student succeed, they make it so big for them that they want him to achieve more. And when they see them falling behind, they call the parents and they set up the special staff to help them reach their goal. They never quit on any student. They always keep pushing them and telling them, reach to the top, never quit. There's nothing that you cannot reach with dedication and effort. The teacher, it's them. The staff, they're all happy. They're always smiling. They're always making you feel welcome. They're making you feel like this is your home. We drive every day, all of us, and commute like 20 minutes to come to this school. So please help the school continue so more generation can graduate as leader of this community. Thank you for your time and have a great evening.
Good evening. Are you Audrey? Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Brown.
Good evening, board members. My name is Audrey Brown. I'm in 4th grade, and I love going to Reach because we are family and we work together. In class, we never give up. We keep trying no matter what happens. Our doors are always open to anyone who comes to our school. My favorite part of Reach is that I always feel welcomed and loved by my friends and teachers. Reach will always be a part of my heart.
Come on up.
Good evening, board members and superintendent. My name is Manuel Allman, and I'm in 4th grade in Ms. Sanchez's class. I love Reach because all the teachers push their students to beyond their limits and teach us to never give up. They know everybody's name by heart. They stay overtime for people who need extra help because they care for us. I'm grateful for the bonds I've made with my friends and teachers at Reach.
Thanks, Ben.
Good evening, Mr. President, Dr. Hanson, and members of the board. My name is Najwa Atwan, and I am the 6th grade student council president. Sadly, this is my last year at REACH, but these past few years, I learned how to be a great student and team player and a leader in my school and community. One of the most things I love about REACH is the teachers, staffs, and Dr. Menti, and how far they are willing to make us strive for the best. They always said to us, reach the top. They taught us that nothing is impossible with hard work, effort, and dedication. For example, I was sick for a whole week, and Ms. Sanchez offered to FaceTime me to go over a math lesson. This is how serious they are. So please help us keep this legacy going so more generations can graduate with high education, honor, and integrity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our school's a stereo that sings for you, so listen close. Hear our thoughts in every note. Uh-oh. This song we sing for you, for all the loving things you do, teaching and guiding your students too. This song we sing for you. When you have a bad day with your worst class, and you're asking yourself if you could really last, just remember that we love you and we have your back. You're a hero in our hearts, saying that's a fact. And when you're in your class and you feel all alone, and all your kids want to do is complain and moan, we know that even though they won't ever show it, your students love you even when they mess up and blow it. We just really want you all to really understand that we know that education is your plan. We recognize all the hard work that you do, and on behalf of REACH, know that we love you. Our school's a stereo that sings for you, so listen close. Hear our thoughts in every note. Uh-oh. This song we sing for you, for all the loving things you do, teaching and guiding your students too. This song we sing for you. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. This song we sing for you. It is our hope that in our school you will find. You gotta find it! Passion and love to help you excite your mind. Excite your mind! I'll take your hand and hold it closer to mine. Yeah! Working together, come on and shout. Put 'em up, put 'em up. Our school's a stereo that sings for you, so listen close. Hear our thoughts in every note. Uh-oh. This song we sing for you, for all the loving things you do, teaching and guiding your students too. This song we sing for you. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. This song we sing for you.
Sorry, but our students wanted to do that. So thank you. Do you have any questions?
We do have, Dr. Renti, one question. Just want to remind the board too and staff that this is a public hearing, so just clarifying questions, Mr. Hunt?
I can't, okay, I'll clarify a question. What, do I ask my question? I have some questions on our special ed and some other things.
I believe you can only ask clarifying questions
Okay.
based on the presentation.
I'll wait till after.
Yeah, I think when we vote, you can ask those questions. Any other questions? Well, who knew we were going to get two student performances tonight? So thank you for that. All right, thank you.
Is that it?
So now we can close the public hearing for REACH, and Dr. Holmes will come up. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dr. Renti, the flash mob was a nice treat. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Byron Briggs and to have you open the public hearing for Global Educational Stream Academy.
I did close it. I think we're okay. Yeah, we don't have to vote on it, I don't think.
Clarifying question.
Yes, ma'am.
So we will hold the public hearings, and then will we be allowed to, at a later date, have further discussion about these
Yeah,
presentations?
this will be on our next board meeting agenda, and we can ask questions, and I think that Dr. Renty will be back.
Thank you.
Is that correct, Dr. Hansen?
Yeah, that is correct. It'll come back to you at the March 6th board meeting. Staff will have recommendations for you. We're reading the report. We have the rubric. You have the report. You have the rubric, and you can ask any questions at that time as well. Is that correct, Dr. Holmes?
Yes, that's correct. Can we just ask that if any REACH people are leaving, that you do so before the presentation starts, or otherwise stay for the duration of
Why don't
it?
we do 2 minutes and allow anybody that, give us 2 minutes, and anybody that doesn't wish to stay, if they could leave. If not, you're welcome to stay, of course.
Yes.
Vice President, anything you want. We'll give you 5 minutes to write one real quick. We'll give you 5 minutes to write a song real quick. That's pretty cool. That's cool. So kids learn young. Very cool. All righty. Dr. Holmes, please join us back up front. Thank you.
Yes.
If you could please introduce our second petitioner.
Yes, we have Dr. Byron Briggs, who is the CEO of the Global Educational Stream Academy. And he'll be here to present the petition, which is a new petition for our district, for a stream school.
All righty, this is, yeah, go ahead. Before we get started, we do need to open the public hearing. So again, I don't have a gavel, but this public hearing is now open.
Good
Go ahead-
evening.
Go ahead.
President Lee, Dr. Hansen, and esteemed board members. On behalf of Global Educational Stream Academy, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to present before you this evening. And before I go on, it's STREAM, and it's science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and math. So that's where the STREAM comes in, the R in STREAM. The mission of Global Educational Stream Academy is to produce, our mission is to produce students who are ready for the 21st century and to help them with a rigorous education and robust curriculum so that they will be ready to do everything in this changing global world. Our students will have had the opportunity to learn rapidly and are very, very engaged in their lessons. At Global Educational Stream Academy, I'm going to skip through the agenda for the sake of time. We believe in 5 pillars, and our 5 pillars are educator development and a pipeline for our educators so that When our teachers are on campus, they feel as if they are a part of a school family and a structure. Strong school culture so that our students are embraced, our students are loved, but more so our students are treated as individuals, and they are provided an individual curriculum for each and every student. Increased time on task for our students. With this, our students are able to have a structured environment where standards-based learning is the key. Rigorous and relevant academics. We bring education to life for our students so that our students know why they're doing 5 times 5, what that actually is, or if they're building something, they actually know why they're building it and the mechanics as to how it works, the intricacies. Linked personalized learning, again, every student is assessed. We know the gaps and the strengths of every student with the data in which we use. We work to fill those gaps for each and every student. Our paramount goal is to, again, to create lifelong learners so that our students are ready to take on this world. And with the type of rigor and potential with the type of rigor that we have for our students in the curriculum, students are able to sit down, learn from that curriculum, and take it and apply it to the real world and what they're doing. We work with vertical teams also, that's big for us, to work with our local middle schools, high schools, community colleges, and industries to ensure that we know what it is that our students have to have at the next level, even the world to career in work. When you go onto our campus, you would see a dedicated staff, highly qualified staff, also content alignment with our curriculum, departmentalized instruction. So we'll have a teacher that's teaching math and science, and a teacher that's teaching social studies and English, so that it's departmentalized, so that they will have to only have to focus on 2 structured areas in the curriculum. We'll also have math specialists who are highly qualified teachers, reading specialists, and writing specialists to work outside of our classrooms alongside our teachers in the doing pull-outs and push-ins with our students. We also have a robust RTI program as well to work with our students who are not only at grade level or below grade level, but those students who are above grade level also. What you'll see at, why would a parent choose Global Educational STEAM Academy? One-to-one computers, standards-based grading, Common Core and standard-based assessment, a fully digital school, vertical teaming and alignment, rigorous and relevant engaged instruction for our students, 7-to-1 checking for understanding. And the 7-to-1 ratio or method is when a teacher teaches for 7 minutes, they'll stop and check for understanding for a minute, with students doing a pair share or something of that nature, a table talk or something to get the students engaged. And the teacher will walk around and listen and check for understanding to see which student got it and which student didn't, because that will provide the opportunity to go back and do some reteaching right away and close those gaps before you go any further. Our school is fully data-driven, fully data-driven. Data will drive instruction. Data will make the decisions outside of our kids. Our school, the classrooms are very print-rich with the students, because the students have to know that they take ownership in that classroom and that they have invested in the class. You'll see clear instruction, clear objectives and expectations with a rubric. The classes are math-based, reading-based, writing-based, and with our Maker Ed program, that's something that we're really excited about. Our Maker Ed program is something like this. The students will get the speaker, in this case a speaker. They'll be able to see how the speaker worked by listening to it. They'll be given the opportunity to write how and why they think this speaker works. Then they'll be given the guts of the computer, the speaker, and asked to put it together. But before they put it together, they'll have to write down why they think the speaker works and why they think it may not. But as they're putting it together, they will also write the directions as to how that speaker came to be. So now we've hit about 12 standards in this one project, and it's all data-driven, and it's all based in Common Core. But more so, our students will have to take that project and sell it. Sell it to our board, sell it to other classes. It's a thing of competition, but more so it helps them with their speaking skills. And this is where I have a video of some of the students in which we worked with that I'd like to show if at all possible. While they're queuing up the video, I'd like to say that if a student is with us for 3 to 4 years, by the time they leave us, they will know Algebra 2. Irregardless of where they come to us at, these are the things in which they will learn Algebra 2 and ready for high school math. If you take a look at the video is just a group of students whom we worked with. But more so, I'm sorry, go ahead. And just giving a little narrative while the video is going, this is just a normal class. You can keep going. You can keep going. This is just a normal class, but this is what our students learn. In first grade, fractions, this was after 18 days. Students knew. Math is a subject that once you conquer math and understand math, everything else is comparable in school. So if you give them a strong math foundation, this kid is a kindergartner, and look at the ease in which he's going through this. Math builds confidence, and once you master math, you believe that you can do any and everything. I ask that you listen to this kid. Skip count. Watch the face of this kid and the confidence in which he exhibits. One of the things in which we will do is use the data. And data is very important. And data, again, drives our instruction. It will help us identify those gaps in our students' learning. But I want to skip down to something else that data really does. It improves the confidence in students. With the assessments, by showing them their incremental growth weekly, monthly, and quarterly, they can improve their personal best scores to improve their confidence. And also, it gives them a sense of accomplishment. I have done this, and I have the artifacts to prove it. My test scores, I can see my scores going up, I can see my grades going up, and now I can accomplish anything. With our interventions, again, we have individuals who are highly qualified teachers that have volunteered time to us to teach reading, math, writing, and science. Again, the inquiry-based, project-based, and problem-based instruction and way of doing things helps the students to begin to think as to how I'm learning and why I'm learning, so that they can say, I did it, and I can explain it to you. I can write it, I can tell you, and I can do it. We make sure that we meet every week to go over data, reteaching areas, and our student gaps to ensure that we do what's best for our students. When we look at our realistic growth, we are coming in with very aggressive numbers, and I know they look to be aggressive. But we believe that our teaching style will hit the needs of every student, and the data in which we use to drive instruction will be able to fill in those gaps so that we can meet that year 5 annual growth rate of 95%. Our expected enrollment for year 1 starts at 140, year 2, 300. We max out at elementary school at 390 students from TK through 6. Some of our partnerships, Dale Roberts, the National Football League, Nike, NASA and JPL, Tesla Motors, California Charter School Association, Charter School Capital, and Kids That Code. Because coding is big for us also, because math is embedded in coding. If you have a robot and you say you have a problem, x plus 50 equals 100, you have to tell that robot to go 25 steps forward, 10 to the right, and equate to 100. And that's math embedded in coding. So we'll use coding to help our students learn also. And President Obama had a great quote. Global Educational Stream Academy is not Byron Briggs. It is not our board. It's our students, our community, and our world at large. And it's only when you hitch your wagon to something larger than yourself that you realize your true potential. We believe that our true potential is working with the students of Riverside to help them become true leaders of today, tomorrow, and of our future. Any questions?
Thank you. Ms. Alavi.
Yes, thank you. So I was confused by this because I didn't read in your charter application that you already have a school. So you already have a charter?
No, that is from a consultant. That's from schools in which I consult with and or work with as a principal.
So this is not one of several. This will be your first.
This will be the first. That is
Okay,
correct.
I was just confused by that.
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Those are just archives in which we pulled from students working and from last year. Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Alavi. Mr. Hunt.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Dr. Briggs, that was kind of my question. So the film was from the school you teach at, or you're participating in?
That is from the school in which I worked at last year, yes.
Okay, and where do you propose to site this school that you want to bring to Riverside?
Actually, in the spot in which REACH is vacating.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further questions from the board? Thank you, Dr. Briggs.
Thank you, board.
We do thank you. We do have some members of the public that would like to address this public hearing, and we're asking that you keep your comments to 2 minutes, respectfully. First, Ms. Teresa, I'm not going to try to say it. Teresa M.
I always know my name because they always stop after my first name. My name is Teresa Matai-Tusi. I'll say it one more time, Matai-Tusi. And I taught with Dr. Briggs last year at another charter school. Excuse me, technologically challenged. And I say I taught with him because he was my principal and I was a teacher. I did not teach under him or beneath him because that is not how he views his teachers. I'm here today to speak to you about Dr. Briggs, the leader, and the faith and confidence that I have in him. He has terrific vision, and he has a way, an infectious way of sharing that vision with the people that he works with. As a teacher, it was a privilege to work with somebody who treated you more like an equal while still being the leadership role that you needed. His door was always open to his teachers and his students. He was very supportive of his teachers at all times. He kept the teachers close and tight, and we regularly collaborated, even though we were all at different grade levels. We were always looking to help each other out. If we found something that might be a little bit more advanced for our class, but we thought maybe someone else could use it, we were always sharing, and he really encouraged this. He talks about data-driven emphasis, and I can attest that that is true. We were constantly talking about data all the time. How are the kids doing? And the thing that I value about data-driven teaching is that the kids don't have to rely on somebody telling them they're doing well. They don't have to rely on somebody arbitrarily giving them a B, but they actually can see the numbers. These are the numbers. This is how you did. This is what we're looking for. This is what we're aiming for. I can't make it up. I can't inflate your grades because this is what they say. And I think that that has more value in the long run to students than somebody arbitrarily telling you what it is that you're earning. He is very strong in professional development for the teachers. We had something every week. Sometimes it was personally good for us. Sometimes it was more based on the students. We did a lot of project-driven teaching. That's how the kids responded. They love to get their hands on things, and we teach through that. So I'm here to just attest that Dr. Briggs is a terrific motivator of students and teachers. He keeps you together, and he keeps you tight, and I know that this school will be great under his leadership. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Mr. Alfonso Amaya or Anaya? Anaya. Thank you, Mr. Anaya. You have 2 minutes?
Yes, thank you. President Lee, Dr. Hansen, and esteemed members of the board, thank you for giving me this time to speak on behalf and in favor of Dr. Briggs, as well as the, it's a long name, the Global Education Stream Academy. So I have seen him in action in the past when he was at Woodward Academy. And I do know that he is passionate about his students, and he cares greatly about them and wants to see them succeed. So I do believe in his mission and the individuals that he surrounds himself with. Like any great leader, he brings in people that know their job. And one thing that I learned in business school that we were told is to find individuals that are smarter than you and brighter than you and let them just go at it and don't get in their way. And I've seen him work in that capacity. So I just wanted to voice my favor for him, and that you would also see that in him as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Anaya. Next, we have Janaea Barnes. Did I say that right? Ms. Barnes? Thank you for being here.
Everyone, I am Janaea Barnes. Thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to take some time and speak to the wonderful work that Mr. Briggs and his team are putting together. Global Educational Stream Academy. I am looking forward to working with the team and helping to implement what we call is a Safe Route to School program. Not only are we focusing on the curriculum and the academics, but students and parents in the community want to know that their children are safe when they are walking to and from school, whether they are bicycling or using other alternative forms of transportation. We anticipate collaborating with the Safe Routes to School National Partnership, which is a nonprofit organization that improves the quality of life for children and communities by promoting active, healthy lifestyles and a safe infrastructure that supports bicycling and walking. Through Safe Routes to School planning, policies, and programs, we will work with a rep from the Inland Empire to provide a comprehensive overview of the need for safe routes to school, and strategies available to improve conditions for walking and bicycling to school. This support is developed through a partnership of funding from the Federal Highway Administration, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Environmental Protection Agency. School walk audits are also powerful tools that we will use to assess the physical environment and identify assets and barriers to walking and bicycling to school. Physical activity and good nutrition go hand in hand, and that will help us to help combat obesity and other chronic diseases. And continuing to develop an active transportation plan, bicycle master plan, and pedestrian master plan that will promote the community's vision, goals, and strategies. We also plan to collaborate with AAA's School Safety Patrol program that plays an important role in helping young pedestrians learn and fulfill responsibilities regarding traffic safety. AAA School Safety Patrols are school-sponsored student volunteers from upper elementary, middle, and junior high schools. Patrols direct children but not traffic. As school-age leaders in traffic safety, patrol members teach other students about traffic safety on a peer-to-peer basis. So we just wanted to bring to your attention that is also a part of our curriculum and something that we really focus on at Global Educational. That's all I really have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Barnes. Amanda Ochoa. Welcome.
Thank you.
Feel free to bring that down so we can hear you. If you want to bring that down a little bit.
Can you hear me? No?
Bring it down.
Down?
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay, before the timer goes on, I just want to let you know that I'm nervous with anybody over double digits. So if you're 10 and above, I'm sorry. But good evening. My name is Amanda Ochoa. I've had the opportunity to work with Dr. Briggs for the 2015-2016 school year. During that time, I've been able to observe him, who he is and how he is. Dr. Briggs is very dedicated to his students, fellow teachers, families, the community. He's very compassionate, always making time for students, or anybody for that matter, to speak or to listen to them. He could often be seen eating lunch with students just to get to know them. He would stay late to meet with teachers or to meet with parents in order to accommodate conflicting schedules, just so we could make a plan to help their student create an educational goal, just anything to help promote and to create some type of plan to close any educational gaps. Dr. Briggs has worked closely with his teachers. He's helped develop rigorous lesson plans. He takes often his own time on weekends to go over lesson plans, make sure and to ensure that they are Common Core aligned. He often comes into the classroom to make sure that there is differentiated instruction going on in the classroom in order to ensure that all the students are taught. He's not teaching the teacher is not teaching to the middle group or the high group, but that the lessons are meaningful for all the students. He's worked very hard to establish and maintain a nurturing but instructive environment. Dr. Briggs has been described as a visionary. And in his vision, everyone has the right to excel and to achieve. Any student who would be going to the Global Educational Stream Academy would definitely benefit from the experience of his school. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ochoa. Next, Mr. Keith Williams. Hello, Mr. Williams.
Good evening. In the time that I have known Dr. Briggs, I have watched Byron have some amazing successes with students. And I have watched him and the character he has in interactions with students, with parents, with everybody else. And I believe that what he is stepping forward with now will be the culmination of all of his previous experiences and be a tremendous success. And the other part I have is, as the father of a daughter who graduated from the Grove High School in Redlands, I understand just how successful alternative teaching experiences can be for students. And with that, I'd like to thank the board for their time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Eric Hale. Mr. Hale, thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to come up here. I have a lot of knowledge on the program that they're going to put in the school districts. I grew up here in Riverside, went to Poly High School. Mrs. Prey was one of my teachers, and some of the things that Byron's talking about, I was real slow in math. Mrs. Prey took her time and showed me how to figure out everything. And with that knowledge, when I had my kids, I took my daughters to early childhood study program at RCC. And as a result of that, right now, with all the extra help, family members, my mom being a principal, and just people that I know working with my kids and working with myself, when you put your foot forward and do your best, as Riverside Unified School District always does, I feel this program will benefit our school district and keep us on top of the world. It's just amazing. That's all I can say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hale. Next, Mr. Derek DeWitt. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Hanson and board. I'm Derek DeWitt, and I currently am a football coach and educator at Poly High School. And I just wanted to come briefly to talk to you about the character of Dr. Briggs. I have known him for a brief time since I'm new to the community, trying to learn how to navigate here in Riverside, how to help develop young men of character to help them proceed on to four-year universities. Dr. Briggs have come along, and it's kind of a blessing in disguise because we were, eating, something that I love to do, and Dr. Briggs also is a chef, so that was another plug. But since the time I've known Dr. Briggs and his wife, they have been a tremendous asset to our student athletes at Poly High School. Since the time we've talked, it's over like 2 months now, he has already connected our athletes with over 30 four-year institutions to help me and my staff promote our student athletes onto institution of higher learning. And so that's a tremendous asset that I believe that Dr. Briggs will bring to our community. And then also he's agreed, and right now we're in the beginning stages of formulating a tutorial program for our student athletes at Poly High School, something that I'm very passionate about because it's bigger than just the field. We want to make sure our student athletes are excelling in the classroom, and Dr. Briggs have a lot of experience and expertise there. There's a lot of resources, so I'm very excited with our partnership and our friendship, and just the compassion, and the love that he and his wife has for young people, and didn't know me from Adam. The way he's just dove in and embraced me, my family, my coaching staff at Poly, it's been tremendous. I'm looking forward to see the future of the STEM Academy, and so I've been greatly touched by him and his expertise, and I'm looking forward to the things that we're going to do in the future. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Coach. Next, we have, hard to read this one, but Mr. or Mrs. Dempetieto, I say that right? D-E-M-P, I can't read, N-T-Y-E-O. Is that close? Nobody here? V is the first name? I can't read the writing. Sorry.
My name is Vadim Dementiev. I
chance?
hope I pronounce it right. It's Russian. This is quite intimidating to stand here. I'm a pastor of Riverside Community Church, the hosting site for Rich Academy currently, and hopefully for the Stream Academy in the future. I'm used to standing at the pulpits, but this is quite intimidating. And thank you for the opportunity, Mr. President, Superintendent, members of the board. I'm a little nervous. I feel like this is such a special place. I'm very tempted to ask you to dismiss my speeding ticket. That's how it feels. Asking a preacher to do his job in 2 minutes, it's quite challenging. I'm going to give it my best shot. Considering events of yesterday, 2 minutes can be a lot of time, right? A lot of drama can happen. And speaking of drama, I'm a father of a 14-year-old, a public school student who woke us up at 3 o'clock in the morning in September. And as a 14-year-olds quiet they can be in their mind, the whole house was shaking. And I woke up, I thought something happened, opened the door in her room. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I have a presentation tomorrow on the book To Kill the Mockingbird." I said, "Are you killing us?" No pun intended. I said, "Why are you doing this, 3 o'clock in the morning?" And she said, "Daddy, my teacher said that I should do well." I said, "Well, you're going to do well, that's fine. It's just a grade, it's just one presentation." I said, "No, Daddy, you don't understand. She believed in me." I hope as we hear all of this, we realize that one of the things that Dr. Briggs brings is profound belief in children. It's not about his skill ability, even though there's plenty of that and there are a lot of educational background, but his ability to believe in our children. And that kind of passion, that kind of belief in children, I think deserve a very serious consideration. So I ask and invite you, join us to believe in the future, believe in our present and our children. Thank you.
Thank you. And a name I definitely can pronounce, Mr. Dale Roberts.
Late night hours you guys keep. Forgive me, Byron, let me depart for a minute to say something to the board. Thank you, board. I've thanked you, but for the first time, hopefully we'll have the whole board, and you owe me, on the fire truck, the board and others, Saturday. Enough said. I'm here to talk about Byron Briggs. It's all been said, but he's a passionate man, and I'm in favor of passion when it comes to students. He came to Riverside a short time ago, walked up to me and said, "I want to help you with the Black History Month committee." And boy, that's kind of rare, so I said, "Fine." So he did roll up his sleeves, and he helped us tremendously, he and his wife. It was a delight to have him aboard. I've been in Riverside since 1945. I've been through the system, and I've seen all types of teachers. I've seen all types of educational processes. Passion is the one thing that comes through to students. I've had students that would miss one class and go to another. When I asked them why, and they said, "Well, that teacher wouldn't allow me to miss." But they felt committed to that particular teacher. I think that Dr. Briggs has that passion for education and for kids. He's already proven it in ways. I've watched him talk to students, and I'd be happy to have him as a member of the community. I think he will enhance it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. So I don't have any more cards, so we'll, if the board has any questions, any clarifying questions? Dr. Briggs? All right, well then we'll close the public hearing for this petition, and we will take a 8-minute recess, so if board members could be back here in 8 minutes. Thank you for the music interlude. Sorry to break up the dance party. We do have a few more items to get to on the agenda this evening. We are to the action portion of the agenda. And I believe Mr. Walker is here to talk about a safe school, safe learning zone.
Thank you, Mr. President, Dr. Hanson, and members of the board. Before you this evening is your resolution to make the district and all campuses safe learning zones for all students, families, and staff. As an action item, your consideration and discussion will end with 3 options available to you as a Board of Education. You can take no action, you can make changes and take action or request that the item return for approval in March, or you can approve the resolution as it is written. As you are aware, the content of the resolution reflects current responsibilities the district has under current laws. Please take the opportunity to begin your discussion and consideration of this resolution at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Dr. Farouk?
I just want to thank Tim Walker for all of his efforts in shepherding this process, and I motion to approve.
Thank you, Dr. Farouk. We have a motion. Mr. Hunt?
I just have a question, Mr. Walker, on the be further resolved that we acknowledge the value of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, the DACA program. DACA was, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, was created by President Obama in February 2012 by an executive order. Now, in his hearings for confirmation as our new Attorney General, Alabama Senator Sessions has indicated that while he'd look at it, he would have, quote, no trouble putting an end to it, and et cetera and so forth. So if this, and because it's executive order, it's not law. I mean, it has a habit of law, but it's not law. So if Sessions were to rip out DACA, which leaves 1 million people that have identified themselves now, sort of in peril, but that's another story. What does that do to this resolution?
The executive order that puts DACA in place is currently what you are supporting. Whether he removes it or if it's removed at any point, it may be replaced with something else. It does nothing to this resolution as far as you demonstrating your support of the document.
Okay. Then I second Dr. Farouk's motion.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. You have a motion and a second. Mrs. Alavi?
Just quickly, Mr. Walker, it is true that most of the contents of the letter, or the proclamation rather, are already items that are in the Ed Code or are in some way.
Yes, as I demonstrated, one of my comments to you this evening was that the responsibilities, the content of the resolution reflects current responsibilities of the district under current laws.
So it's all within the Ed Code right now?
There's Ed Code and laws that drive our work in the district that would cover these particular areas.
Thank you.
There's no further discussion with the board. We have a motion and a second, so we can vote. That motion carries unanimously. That resolution will be adopted. Thank you, board. Now to the reports and discussion. We have a report from our VAPA committee, and I think Mr. Lewis is going to do a little intro.
Good evening, President Lee, Dr. Hanson, members of the board. It is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Anne-Marie Guzzi, our new VAPA specialist, who has been a great addition to our team and has hit the ground running with many different projects throughout our district. She's going to go over current programs and upcoming programs, as well as an update on our Visionary Arts Committee. Ms. Guzzi.
Good evening. Good evening, President Lee, Dr. Hanson, and members of the board. And thank you so much for inviting me to share an update on the visual and performing arts programs and activities at RUSD. I've been here now just over 2 months, and I've seen so many different things going on, and I've been so impressed by the energy and enthusiasm that I've seen for the arts across the district. I've been able to see a wide array of concerts, exhibits, classrooms, and festivals, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to report on some of these exciting activities here. Let's try this out. On Saturday, January 28th, the High School Theater Festival took place at North High School. Students from Ramona, King, Poly, STEM Academy North, and Arlington competed in categories such as musical theater, ensemble and solos, original monologues, makeup, and set design. It was an amazing opportunity for students to showcase their talents and build a network across the high schools in the district. This past Friday, February 3rd, the middle and high school honor band concert took place. 177 students from 12 middle and high schools performed under the guidance of special guest conductors Dr. Mitch Fennell, formerly of Cal State Fullerton, and Mr. Giovanni Santos of La Sierra University. In just 4 rehearsals, this uniquely formed ensemble came together for a well-attended district-wide concert at Magnolia Church. Today, just this afternoon and this morning, the John Lennon bus visited Poly High School so that 185 music technology students could experience a state-of-the-art mobile production studio. The nationwide John Lennon bus tours the country, and it was such a thrill for us that Riverside was chosen to be part of their national tour. In addition to exposing students such as Leo, who we saw today, who was completely blown away by this experience, the bus came to RUSD in hopes of beginning a longer-term relationship with the district. We are continuing to move forwards on the planning of the Harmony Project and evaluating how this program fits at RUSD. The program includes 2 aspects, an after-school and weekend string program, and the Harmony Boost, which is an arts-integrated music curriculum for TK and K classrooms, and is a very new extension of the Harmony Project USA. Mr. Shearer and I will be visiting the pilot of the Harmony Boost program in neighboring Alvord Unified School District on February 24th. We are also bringing forward an agenda item to an upcoming board meeting to increase the rate of pay for teaching artists to come into the classroom called education technicians. If passed, this rate increase would better attract local and graduate student teaching artists into our USD classrooms. In the visual arts, the Art to Go program with the Riverside Art Museum is in full swing. In the fall, 688 lessons were completed, and 1,403 are scheduled for the spring. There will then be 549 lessons distributed to additional classrooms this school year. Overall, it has been a highly regarded program, and I look forward to seeing the arts integrated projects continue in the elementary schools this spring. The new Visionary Arts Committee convened for the first time on January 24th and brainstormed elements of a new arts plan for the district. As a group, we focused on the key question, what are the elements of an innovative, inspired, and impactful arts program at RUSD? In the remaining 3 meetings, we will further develop themes and finalize our collective ideas. This Visionary Arts Committee is a diverse body with members from a wide range of backgrounds and experiences. It includes representation from community arts organizations, professional artists, local college and university arts programs, and RUSD teachers, administrators, parents, students, and alumni. It is an energized and dynamic group, and I'm excited to work with them to develop a VAPA plan for the RUSD school district. The overarching vision as defined by this committee will be presented to the board in April. Thank you again for this opportunity to share, and I am happy to take any questions.
Any questions from the board? I have a question.
Please.
So I'm pretty impressed with the representatives for the committee that you put together, so thank you for that. Do we have, has an effort been made to reach out to California Baptist University or La Sierra University to get them involved?
We don't have them involved in this particular committee, but definitely for the future. So right now we're looking for an overarching vision for this arts plan, but this is just the start of the process for the arts plan for the district, and I'm definitely looking forward to involving members of those schools. Absolutely.
Perfect, thank you. And did Ms. Alavey or Ms. Lock-Dawson, you both participated, right, in this? Did you want to share any additional information?
We did, sure.
Sure. Ms. Alavey.
Sure, I'd love to. We've had 1 meeting, so it's a little early to make judgments, but it is a very broad-based committee with a lot of different input. And we had ideas which were very far-reaching, so it's going to be very interesting to see how Anne Marie's going to pull all this together. But I'm very excited about it. I think it's going to do what we wanted, which is what Mrs. Lock-Dawson and I have been talking about, which is be a little bit more innovative and a little bit more wide perspective, involving the community a little more and thinking of different ways that we can do things with the arts. So I'm very optimistic.
Great. Anything else? No. All right. All right. Thank you, Anne Marie.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you too. I didn't get a chance to meet you when you were first introduced, so nice to meet you. Thanks. Thanks for being here. All right. Next, we have Tim. Yeah, Tim. Mr. Walker's back. He's going to provide a brief overview about program of emergency and non-emergency communication protocol.
Good evening, Mr. President, Superintendent Hanson, members of the board. There's been, there's been a request to review and periodically update as needed our site emergency, non-emergency communication practices. Please reference the internal procedure document before you as I go through this PowerPoint. The goal is to ensure RUSD has a protocol to help support schools, sites, and programs in addressing the safety and security of students, staff, and the community, and disseminate information in a timely and responsible manner. Some key considerations include internal and external stakeholders, such as yourselves, the Board of Education, administration, union leadership, employees, parents, leaders, and other community leaders. We want to be sure that the district is the relied upon source of information rather than social media, the media itself, and word of mouth, which can perpetrate rumors and misinformation. We need to think of these groups as members of our press corps, and we need to have strategies in place to help disseminate the information in an accurate manner when situations arise at the sites. We want to provide responsible and respectful communications in a timely, that are accurate, and that corrects miscommunication or misinformation. And there will be times that we need to communicate immediately with our parents or to the media, and we want to be sure that we have a practice of sharing these communications with key members of the aforementioned stakeholder groups. For example, if there is a lockdown at the school, we want to send messages to parents within minutes. We want to be sure to share news of the situation, and that the message is sent home to the board, to cabinet, and site leaders, as well as other schools, because parents take their questions to any number of leaders and employees in the district, confident that our employees are informed about important information. As you can see before you, the procedures that are internal. There are existing communication procedures for site administrators. A short explanation of the document is captured with what is reported. Well, any calls made to or contact initiated by law enforcement, fire department, paramedics, city, community, government agencies, or issues of concern affecting the schools that may require communication with parents in the community, the media, especially when there are safety and security or legal or political implications. This includes social media, actively identified by staff, parents, students, and the community. And this also includes who does this information go to? Well, that would start with me, and in my absence, Dr. McGuire, and others in the order identified on your document. Site administrative staff will also forward a brief description or via email to the cabinet and the cabinet group, as well as their assistants on the cabinet level support group. And in addition, calls for threat assessments, suicide risks, after school hours, and use of personal cell phones to call 911 are addressed in the protocol for administrators. Recent adjustments to the procedures include expanded coverage within the Pupil Services Department to ensure communication is immediately provided to Dr. Hansen, who then communicates to the board. And a backup system is in place to ensure that communications are made to the board in the absence of the superintendent. I will be happy to answer any questions that you have at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Mrs. Alvey?
Yes, thank you. You mentioned about the quick response that we want to give to parents. And I know that Mr. Lee brought up last time that Washington had that, what is it?
Remind.
A remind. How many of our schools have that? What do they use as an alternative if they don't have that? How to reach the parents?
Yeah, we're exploring a district-wide
Okay.
text messaging system that would be available for use. And Justin, myself, and Dr. McGuire are looking into that as we are moving forward with the protocol and procedures. In regard to the availability to communicate, there is the writing of a letter that would go home by email. There's also the auto dialer that we utilize for communication to all the parents at once during the evening after the event takes place. We can also send that during the day. It's a timely process depending on how many kids are at the school.
Okay, so the auto dialer can reach everybody, every phone number that's
Yes.
registered to that school?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Any other questions for Mr. Walker, board? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we have one last report item for this evening. And I believe, oh, no, two more,
Yes.
sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. All right, sorry, go ahead.
It's
Ms.
okay.
Ybarra.
Good evening, President Lee, Dr. Hansen, and members of the board. What I have for you tonight is a disclosure of our memorandum of understanding and a tentative agreement between Riverside Unified School District and our Employees Association, Riverside City Teachers Association. The first one is the tentative agreement. That is with regards to language that we had to change in our current contract that refers to mandated reporting. It has always been in our past contract that it was every other year. Based on the new law, we had to change that language to meet and satisfy the law to say annually. So that is the tentative agreement for the first. The second is a memorandum of understanding. And this was the PAR language, Article 18, that we have now needed to suspend in order to move forward in the negotiations that we have on the table right now with the PGS program. If there's any questions? Yes, it will be brought back next time for you to be able to vote. This was our actual disclosure of these two items.
All right, I don't see any questions from the board, so thank you, Ms. Ybarra.
Thank you.
All righty. Now, we're at the last report for the evening, and the one, the only, Justin Grayson, our communication specialist, and his trusty sidekick.
Sorry, as a point of order, I would like to motion to move past the 9 o'clock end time for
Thank
20
you.
minutes or so.
Second.
Trustee. All right, got a motion and a second. The board, please vote.
Thanks.
The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. All right. Good evening, President Lee, Dr. Hansen, and members of the board. I am here to present part 2 of the 3-part series entitled RUSD Communications Department Update. It's an exciting title. There's a lot of things happening with RUSD communications, and so the idea is that not only do we want to keep you updated on the developments and that things are changing daily, so we want to make sure that you all know what's happening, and also we are planning for the future. So we also want to let you know the things that are in the works so that you can just kind of know what we're doing when we're not managing crisis throughout the day. So again, I like to just reiterate our purpose. Every time I come up here, our purpose is to foster open two-way communication systems between the district, the board, our staff, our students, families, and the community. It is definitely a two-way street when it comes to communications, and the reason we always reiterate that purpose is because we don't want to forget that. We don't ever want to become the one-way communications arm. We always want that two-way communications. The objective for today is to make RUSD a leading destination for prospective students, families, and teachers. That is not the objective for today. That's the objective that I'm going to be talking about today, but that's kind of one of our 4 main goals for at least the spring, what we want to do at the district. We've heard from the board that we need to recruit better. We need to show off our district a lot better when it comes to prospective families coming to Riverside. We've got the CARB, the Air Resources Board, that's coming this way, and we want to make sure that every time someone comes to Riverside, they see Riverside Unified as a leading destination. So one of those methods that we are going to use is the RUSD brochure development. We do have a brochure that has been in development. It is a process that takes a while to get it perfect, but you've seen a different style and a newer style of publication that comes out of the communications department here, as evidenced by the LCAP document and our beautiful instructional guide that came out. We are definitely moving toward a more modern and a more, I like to use the word beautiful, style of publication. So the brochure will be the same. It will be catchy, it'll be informative, and we do have an organization that is currently working on it. The brochure will show off our district accolades. It'll show off the things that we do well. We have been collecting all of the great programs and options that all of our schools have, so we're going to make sure that not only do we have a district-wide brochure, but each school will have its own brochure that shows off their individual programs. We'll also be able to show off our CTE programs as well. So as I stated, that is in progress, and we do have a draft available, but I didn't want to show it yet because it gets a little bit touchy when we show off the draft. We want to have, like, I guess, a second draft to make sure that it's right before we show it off. So hopefully by the next board meeting, or at least our next communications subcommittee meeting, we'll be able to show off the draft of that document. We want to make sure that we share RUSD achievements. There's so many wonderful things that are happening here in the district that everyone needs to know these things. And the more we share, the more the district is approachable and desirable for families to send their students here. Yearly we have our employee recognition awards. We have our student recognition award ceremony. So the communications department will continue to film and to live stream and promote those events. Of course, we're still live streaming our board meetings, and if you haven't noticed, our board meetings we've just updated the technology. We are not using High School Cube anymore, which if you've ever tried to watch an archive of a board meeting, you might press play and get a 2-minute commercial for a video game before the board meeting starts. It was a very small and low resolution box. We've changed to YouTube live streaming now, so it's just a lot more modern. People know how to use YouTube. It looks a lot better. Once you can go full screen, it has a better resolution. So it's just one of the small changes that you see. People don't have to go to a site that they've never heard before and watch a long commercial before they watch a board meeting. So little things like that. We are going to, of course, just make sure we continue to share all of the grants that the district gets, our notable partnerships. And we are also in the process of reaching out to notable alumni. We've gotten some great feedback from the board on different people that we should do highlights on. Just the other night at the Black History Month kickoff, I was talking to Whitney, our esteemed North High graduate who was in the Olympics this past year. So people like that, we just want to make sure that we show off all of the outstanding graduates that came from Riverside Unified School District. And we're going to have a video series that is we don't have a name for it yet, but a video series that shows off all of the great graduates from Riverside Unified School District. With our messaging and news, there are a few different things that we identified that we want to continue to move forward on and get better at. Whenever there's a district initiative or a program, especially one that's hard to communicate or that we find ourselves always having to explain what it is, we need to have fact sheets. There should be a fact sheet for all these different things that we're working on. So we developed a fact sheet design, and we started out, the first one that came out was actually about the calendar, the school calendar that changed. We all obviously found ourselves having to explain and talk about it a lot. It's new, but it's something that we want to work on, and we want to disseminate as much as we can. So I envision a time when you can walk into the boardroom here and actually see just a thing on the wall that has a bunch of fact sheets in it, so anyone can find out what is VAPA, what is CTE, and all those things. So that's something that we're going to work on. Our targeted social media outreach, you hear about that a lot, so I won't brag too much about our social media today, but we are over 7,000 likes and followers on Facebook. Again, I'll just reiterate that when I got here, we were at 2,400. So we are growing exponentially, and I do have to give a shout out to the communications team and the media team. The video of the soldier that surprised his mother in class eclipsed 40,000 views on Facebook, so that's now our second highest, behind the San Antonio Spurs player that donated the shoes to North High School, or to Ramona High School. And then Avid, we did a video on Avid, which is the type of video that makes me proud. Not all of our videos make me proud, but that one makes me proud because it's about an academic program. There wasn't anything, too cute or emotional in the video. It was literally just saying, check out this program. This is the academic rigor that we have here at Riverside Unified. And that video eclipsed 18,000 views on Facebook, which is just tremendous for a school district to do videos like that. We are going to continue to develop and update our communications board policies. Those are things like social media use, flyers, our Peach Star program, the use of how to use our logo and things like that. There should be board policies that I guess explain those things. So it's something that we are going to work on in the future. Over the summer, that'll be a good time to spend on that. Superintendent messages are on our plan of attack. So we did send out a strong superintendent message about the Lake Matthews issue last week, and we'll continue to send out superintendent messages, not just in reaction to problems that we have in the district, but also proactive ones that are just about holidays or end of school or testing and things like that. It's always good for the superintendent to communicate directly with the community, and every time he does, especially when we put those messages on social media, we get really strong feedback from the community thanking us for doing that, so we'll continue to do that. And of course, the State of the District luncheon, I have down here on my notes, one down, many to go. It was a lot of fun planning it and executing it, and we have some pretty aggressive plans for the next one, partnering with the Chamber of Commerce and different community groups to just make it bigger and better. All right. And I haven't been sliding through my slides, forgive me for that. But so I'm going to have Kristen, as you all know, our new community relations manager. I'm going to have Kristen come up and talk a little bit about the district approachability and availability when it comes to our outreach to the community.
Good evening, President Lee, Dr. Hansen, and board. Thank you for allowing me to come up and speak. Just want to touch a little bit on the availability of the district and the approachability, because again, the building on 14th Street can be very daunting. If you're a parent, if you're a student, if you're a community member. So how can RUSD be proactive as opposed to reactive? How can we start building those relationships, working with groups that if they hear something that might be a little awkward, as opposed to going to social media, how can they come to RUSD first so we can address it, give them factual information before it turns into something larger? So I've been working with really getting out at various groups, just building that relationship of trust. Without trust, we're not going to be able to have the community come to us first. So just being at every meeting, every event as much as possible. If you're there, I'll definitely say hi to you. If not, I try to fill in. If it's an event that a board member should be at, definitely trying to work with you to make sure that the board has visibility as well, which is a slide coming up. Also partnerships. Learning that a lot of nonprofits wanting to expand what they're doing, their reach. We've had a mobile dentistry reach out. How can they work with the elementary schools? How can they expand their services? So kind of looking further than what we already have relationships with. How can we be a partner? How can we help some of these organizations? How can they help students at RUSD? flyers and marketing. Justin did touch upon Peach Jar, and we're still working with that. Putting flyers out, this is also a great way to build partnerships. Can't always promote other people's events, but this is an opportunity that they can still get in front of their students and promote their events. Also sponsorship opportunities. How RUSD can work with the community, how can RUSD get publicity, how can we help our partners. And then open houses, this will be, the principal will take the lead, but how can we promote this to encourage additional attendance, to also get publicity? This is a great photo opportunity for the board as well. Targeted community outreach, this is an ongoing process. So continuing to do this, working with our current partners, working with some additional partners. This week we do have a meeting with Boys and Girls Club of, again, it's more of a meet and greet. We just want to hear what they're doing, and then how can we put boys and girls in contact with the right departments of RUSD? How can we expand what their goal and mission is? And then board visibility, working with the board to get the board out in front of the community. Board member Hunt will be our first and doing a meet and greet at Arlington. And then Dr. Farouk, we have scheduled in March for North High School. And this is piggybacking on what's already happening with LCAP. The LCAP group has done a tremendous job with marketing and getting the community out. How can we use the synergies that LCAP's already started to expand it? How can we possibly invite different sectors of the community to meet and greet the board members and, oh, since you're here, stay for the second session of LCAP, as opposed to having multiple community meetings at different times where we look disconnected. This way we look like a well-oiled machine, and we can attract various audience to expand on currently what we have going. Working with media relations that include the RUSD board, trying to make sure you guys get the best photos. Justin has given me a 101 on how to use a camera. That's still, I don't test it just yet, but trying to make sure that getting the best pictures, getting the best shots, recording, and the candids of the involvement of the board and the community, being able to just continue to promote the good work that the board's already doing. And town hall meetings, I already jumped ahead and talked about this. We put spring 2017, but I hope you don't mind. We wanted to do this a little bit premature, starting again with board member Hunt. So we will continue to have different opportunities for the board to come out, different town halls, and so I'll be working with the other members and in your interest. And then we will be moving forward with the virtual town halls as well.
Thank you, Kristen. So one of the things that we identified a while back was that we needed to do an overall audit of the community's perception of what we're doing here as a district. A lot of school districts do this. I'm not sure if RUSD has in the past, but this is kind of just a gauge or a litmus test on what the community feels about what we're doing. And it really serves as a benchmark to help us see a direction on where to go. We do send out a lot of surveys as a district, and so we have to be very cognizant and also just respectful about how and when we do this survey. But many districts put out a communication survey to say, you know, things like, hey, are we communicating with you in the way that you would like to be communicated with? Overall, how do you feel about what your district is doing for you? Overall, would you recommend your friends to send your kids to the district? I mean, there's plenty of questions, and Kristen has actually taken the lead in reaching out to an outside organization that does this. So we don't have anything written in stone yet, but we really do hope to do a communications audit. And we'll work with our other members of the cabinet and the superintendent to find out how we can not only just make, it's not about just communications department, but it's about the district as a whole. So maybe there are some other surveys that go out that can be incorporated into this one, but that's something that we're going to bring to the cabinet later on this school year. Brand awareness is one thing that we talk about all the time. It's kind of one of those words that is ambiguous because it encapsulates so much. But just to talk about a few things to talk about here, our outward-facing brand awareness, our individual school logos are something that, and I think I have another slide about that later, but we will have to do an audit of our individual school logos and decide if we'd like to make any changes or make any adjustments to the school logos. There are some, more than a few principals that have reached out and say, I need to change my school logo. And if you just kind of look at all of them, you'll see that there are a few that probably need a little bit of an update. Branded materials, I talked about our brochures, but also we're just going to reach out and try to find more opportunities to get RUSD swag. You know, we go to many events and we just don't have things to give away. You know, maybe just pens, or you go places and you get a pad or a stress ball or something like that. And we just want to make sure that RUSD just has things like that to give to the community, to make them remember us, and always keep that brand. I mean, one of the top rules of marketing is just to always be in people's faces, right? So we want RUSD, we want people to think of RUSD when they think about school. And sponsoring public events, we do that often. We're going to continue to do that, and if you've noticed, we've kind of upped the ante when it comes to just our image. We have these large retractable banners that now we bring to our sponsored events and put them in the background. So we're going to continue to do that, but just to, again, it's another way to make the district visible. And inward-facing brand awareness is just making sure that everyone is utilizing the logo the proper way. If you've noticed, we've now have these standardized PowerPoint templates that it's just a small thing, but again, it's just making the district have a unified brand. And last but not least, going back to the assessment of our mascots and logos, the district will perform an audit of all the school logos, looking for just how the design looks, the relevance of the design. Is it modern? Some of the school logos, we don't even have an original file on hand, so we cannot enlarge it more than a certain amount without it becoming pixelated. So it's not necessarily that we think they're bad, it's actually a technical issue that we have where we can't, we could never make a large poster out of a certain logo because the file is not large enough. Website compatibility, it's a big thing that we're doing where we're changing, we are updating all the websites, and so you wouldn't buy a new car and take your tires from the old car and put them on the new car. So when we do launch our new websites, we would like to have some updated logos. Maybe not at the moment they launch, but eventually have some updated logos. We will get community feedback because we know that school logos are a big community, a thing that community is passionate about. And we just want the design to be consistent. There have been many examples of school districts that have changed school logos and hired one designer to do all of the logos, and it kind of creates a consistency through those school logos. Before I end, I just want to give a few quick updates that are not on this PowerPoint, but just to let you know that the website we are in full website redesign mode. The team has been working with every elementary, middle, and high school on finding all the things that exist on their current site that need to be ported over to the new site. It's a very tedious process, but that has been completed. So right now the design team we've submitted a design brief on how the website should look, certain things that we like about other sites, certain things we don't like. So that is it's real right now. It's like something it's nice to see the progress that's happening, and we can't wait to show you the first rendition of the new website. With regards to the parent notification system, I'll just add on to what Mr. Walker said. We did have a meeting recently with a representative from School Messenger, and Mr. Lee and Dr. Farouk were able to come to that meeting where they just showed off the options. It's very similar to what we have now with Parent Link. However, it's a lot more robust. And the good thing is that it is integrated with our current website. So it's the same company, but they actually built their company on parent notification. School Messenger's website arm is actually their secondary piece. School Messenger was just one of the top parent notification companies in the country. So we do have the option of sending out a text message, an email, an auto dialer, and a social media alert, all within a few seconds, typing in one thing. It can be in a robotic voice, so if there's no one there to record it, you can do it in a robot voice. But we encourage people we encourage for a human voice in that, but you can even schedule something 3 years in advance if you wanted to. You can schedule Merry Christmas messages until 2019 if you really wanted to. So it's really a great system. Their presentation was flawless. I think it's just going to really take us to the next level, and I think teachers will be excited to use it because it's not that different from what we are currently doing. If there's anything I forgot, I will open it up for questions, and if not, thank you very, very much.
I have a few things, but Dr. Farouk?
I just want to say it's extraordinary the heavy lifting that you guys have been doing to transform this department, and so we just want to commend you for all your efforts.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? So I have a few things. So you won't say it, but I'll say it. And it's not some of the logos, but most of the logos are terrible. So I think it would be a good time, and just because it's been a long time since they've been updated. You look at any brand, any big brand, even Google changes their look every once in a while. So I think it's important when we do this launch to consider bringing some logo adjustments. Yes, I mean.
I just threw a couple, I did have a couple of appendix slides. I just threw a couple of them up there. And again, this isn't to single anyone out. I didn't put, I didn't say these are the worst. Just threw a couple up there.
It's not to make sites feel bad or not, or feel good. It's just, I just think it's time if we're going to create a look for the district and we're going to launch a website and we're going to spend time and resources on it, that it'd be a good time to start having these conversations with school sites to update their logo. And whether it's getting feedback from sites that we hand to a professional graphic designer that can help make something that they feel like they've contributed to, I think that would be important. Maybe at the high school level, if any of our high school logos need some updating, having them have some kind of a contest or something so that they feel buy-in. And I think you can tie this in, because you mentioned with the new logo, you have the capacity to do a student store where you can start selling gear, and then you get that whole school culture and students contributing. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
And I had a meeting with Lynn last week, and we were just talking about CTE and how you could get more pathways for students, and maybe like an enterprise type pathway where you could have a shop built, a print shop, where students run it, design it, print it, sell it, and really figure that full business cycle out. So I think that'd be something to explore too down the line. In regards to the brochure, I know I've talked to you and Kristen about it. I've also talked to Lynn. I really think before we get too far into that process about what those brochures look like, we talk to some members of the community about what it is that they need to help us partner and recruit students. Especially since they've come to us and asked us for this, I think we'd be remiss if we did not include them in that process, and at least get some input. Not saying they should design it for us, but in terms of what is it that they need to help attract their recruits for a job, so that their spouse or them with their children make RUSD their destination. And maybe that's the turning point. Maybe that's the catalyst for them coming to this job, is because they see how great our school district is.
Sure.
So I really think we need to, I mentioned it before, but we need to get that subcommittee going, and I know I've given you a few names. On the social media piece, I mean, you guys have done a great job, and there's no data shows we've done a good job, and I think just being on the board for 3 years, I've seen the progress, and the last year has gone, we've done such a great job. Just one thought, and I know I'd mentioned it before, about what we do on social media. I think some of the components that you're suggesting about students and alumni and achievements are all great, and I think we should do those, but maybe consider doing a piece on history. I mean, we had two folks in the audience, and Sue Strickland and Mr. Hewling. I think that would be good, just to keep sharing our history, because I think that's what makes us such a special district too, is the history that we've accomplished here.
Agreed.
And then the last thing that I would comment on has to do with maybe once the new website gets launched. I noticed that we put out a lot of content and a lot of information on social media, and I think that's good, but maybe that content should be hosted on our website, and then there's just a blurb on social media, so that we're getting more visitors onto our website, so our SEO goes up, and we get more traffic that way. So I think that would be good for our brand, good for getting content out, and just building an archive of information on our own website rather than on the servers of Facebook and Twitter and the like. And then the last thing I had about possibly considering for the website is again, for information purposes, doing some kind of a blog, and whether that's a quarterly newsletter from the superintendent, or he could have guest writers and cabinet if they wish to participate. I know, they have enough to do, but if they want to share some of the things that they're doing, I mean, they're writing it for EdSource and other places to share it on our site, and maybe even board members, if they want to participate, they could do that too. So I think that would be a good way too for us to get in front of the community and provide good information to those that follow us on various social media sites and on the website. So that's it for me, but appreciate the work that you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess if there are.
Just one quick.
Mr. Hunt?
Just unrelated to that, would you look into, Justin, that over the holidays, I got dragged into Allen's Party Supply, very interesting place. And, you know, and there's a whole aisle that has our school logos and T-shirts and banners and all that. I don't know whether they're just doing that or if they're competing with us, or I asked this of Mike Fine years ago too, because I noticed right down here at this thing is a Walgreens on the corner, they're selling our shirts. Do we give them license to do that, or can you just let us know, or do you know?
I'll take a guess here. I don't think we're giving any licenses, and I don't even know if when it comes to high school logos there is any licensing type agreements like they do in college sports, but there probably should be some kind of at least permission from the school, and I don't know who, you know, if it's just, you know, some guy or some, you know, woman that decided, hey, I could sell some T-shirts with Arlington's logo on it or not, but we should probably reel that in and have a centralized source for things that are coming out of the district. And I guess if, you know, I mean, it is nice to see those things in Walgreens or in Walmart and things like that, but we'll look into finding out where it comes from.
I just want to know if they're competing. I mean, I know most of the campuses have different shirts they do, and King's done, Mr. Lee King, the last 2 years, or really when Darrell was there, it started, had really done some great logo work and their whole style with the K and all of that, kind of taken after University of Arizona. But it just kind of struck me as funny to walk in there and there's all this stuff, and I thought, well, I wonder if it's competing against our own print shop or what's happening.
Sure.
Just interested to find out.
Great. And I'll just add a few different things. One, when it comes to redoing the logos, if we ever do, there will be a significant cost associated with not just redesigning the logos, but just imagine that we have to repaint walls. We have to, if any colors change, that'll have to change. Any type of rebranding, whether it's RUSD rebranding or the schools, will be expensive because of just when you do it, you have to do it across the board. You don't want to have two separate logos kind of all over the place. So that's one thing. And then the second thing, I'm just excited. I feel like I can announce this at least in the public now because it works, but when we do release the new RUSD website, we will be making a change from RUSD link to riversideunified.org. So it works now. You can actually type in riversideunified.org and it will still take you to the current website, but we're just happy that, you know, that's kind of one of the shifts. I think when you hear RUSD link provided us with a lot of struggle because people don't necessarily know what that is. So when they search for us on Facebook or on Twitter, they search for Riverside Unified and nothing pops up because they should have searched for RUSD link. We've slowly but surely moved all of those over to Riverside Unified, and also our website will now be riversideunified.org. So we're excited about that. And with that,
just because you mentioned those last two things, do you think we could get, and maybe your office May's, preliminary estimate on what it would cost for rebranding? And then if we're going to rebrand, I remember Mr. Hunt when I first got on the board, you brought up, because we have that crazy long email address. I think you brought it up, and we looked into changing the website name at that time, and we were told by the previous superintendent that it was going to be, I don't know, $500,000. I want to say that sticks out of my head. Really expensive. So if we're going to change our website, does that mean the emails are going to stay the same?
I think as of right now, the emails will stay the same, but we have had some conversations between Renee and between our Chuck Salaji and our tech services department about it. I don't really know. I don't know if we've done any cost analysis or anything like that, but Renee has given me that look like she knows something, but I don't know if she wants to speak out on it.
We did look into it before, but it was a few years ago, so it probably should be updated, and, you know, technologies like construction, you can do anything. It's a matter of cost and time and process to get it done. So just have to consider that right now. Where's Chuck? Chuck's falling out of his chair probably. You know, things are generated automatically when people join the district. You have legacy people who know to find your district that way. You'd have to shift from that. All your business cards, your letterhead, your signs, signage, your publications, all of that would have to change.
Yeah. Well, because I think most people, if we change your website, most people just assume you're going to be Brent Lee at riversideunified.com, right? And now we're not very community friendly at rusd.k12.ca.us. It's not very friendly, but obviously there's a cost to shift. So long run, obviously, I think that would make sense. You want everything to be in alignment. So thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone.
All right, so we're at the end of the meeting, and we'll now take board members' comments. And I'll start with Mrs. Alavey.
Great, thank you. First, thanks to Mr. San Martin, who told me we still have a lot of space to change the gauge landscaping plan. So I'm really happy about that because it looked really shaky when I looked at my first copy. So thank you, that's good news. Second of all, I wanted to just share with you that it took me 40 minutes to go door to door from my house to King High School last week when I met Dr. Hansen up there for the tour. 20 minutes just from their driveway to my parking space. 20 minutes from the top of their driveway to my parking space. And when I got to King, they said, "Oh, it's a good thing you had light traffic today." And I said, "Oh my gosh, what would it look like on a bad traffic day?" I just wanted to point that out to you because we're going through the Measure O scenarios, and I just want you to know that that may be a high priority in terms of a quick, immediate fix, that we could fix something with that 10 acres that we have. Next, I wanted to let you know that I had never before had a chance to go through Safe House. Safe House, as you probably already know, is the only teen runaway center that we have in Riverside. And I had a chance to have a tour of it this last week, and I was impressed. They do a lot of great things there, obviously, at Safe House. It's the only place where kids can go totally without restriction, and they can show up at the door at any time, day or night. If they're in trouble, they'll take them in. And they work with the kids to come up with a plan to try to talk. They counsel with them, trying to get them back with their family, but if they don't, they look at other alternatives. And then they have, they're one of the few places in Riverside that actually has a spot for foster kids who are turning 18, who can no longer be in foster care. They actually have a STEPS program, one of the few places that do. And what they were asking me is, would it be possible that they might have access to letting kids know at our high schools and middle schools about Safe House, and that it's available? Now, right now, we have Safe House information apparently in the office in the counseling centers. It's sort of like having our information about Planned Parenthood at the nurses' centers. It's not available except when you go to these certain spots. And I'm thinking that information about Safe House, about different options like Planned Parenthood, should be more available in a more local area in the school campus so that they can access these kinds of things and not have to go into the counseling office to find out about the Teen Runaway Center, because I'm pretty sure if you're going to run away, you're not going to go inside the counseling center. So I was hoping we could take a look at that and maybe talk about ways we could get safe house information and other kinds of information out. And then finally, I was so excited to open my little tiny mountain newspaper from Lake Arrowhead and find school news inside the little tiny mountain newspaper, and with our superintendent's picture right on the front, which was very nice. It was a surprise to me. I didn't know about this particular item. Interesting though, apparently this is the first time this has come out. It's interesting that every school district took a different tack in their little paragraphs. Some superintendents wrote personal stories, some wrote district stories. It's all over the map. So I don't know if all of you have seen it, but it would be nice to have some sort of, if you're going to do it again, to ask them what the intent is of this, so that everybody could get on the same page with stories. I mean, they're so diverse. But I thought you did a great job. You look very handsome in that one. All right. Thank you very much. That's all. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. I apologize very much that I will not be in the parade on Saturday, because I will be camping out in a nature preserve in Baja looking at whales.
Oh.
And I say that with a heavy heart, the camping out part, okay? All right, thank you. Yeah, this is your kind of thing. What am I doing there? Okay.
That sounds fun to me. How about our student board member, Jerry? Do you want to share anything with us tonight?
All right. I just want to say that for my first meeting, it's really inspiring how our community has came together to promote extracurriculars, cultural awareness, and most important of all, education and career or college readiness. I thought we had a minority dance school and was very active during our Black History Month, but clearly many other schools and community groups has also been raising awareness and celebration of how far we have came. The most important issue for me at this meeting is our districts want some more educators. Me and my classmates often see this in our daily life, as we've always wanted for maybe an advanced chemistry class in our school, and we even nearly missed out on a physics class at all. But seeing how far the UCs has helped us with that, and then especially in our math and science classes, we often see these undergrads coming in. You know, it's inspiring to see that they are doing something about it and it's objectively having some success. And many of my friends now, thanks to the loan forgiveness program that was mentioned, has also looked into a future in educating in RUSD as well. So I'm staying optimistic about that, and I feel like my classmates in my school, everybody in school that I would be telling about this will even be more happier or more optimistic that UCR is continuing to do this for us and our district's working so close with them. And finally, I don't have much experience relevant to charter schools, but I do wish the best for our students no matter where they will receive their education. And it's a wonderful first session, and I'm looking forward to many more interesting and productive ones to come. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. You're ready to run this meeting. Just come, come on over here. Could have used you for Lake Matthews. You could have come sat right here.
Maybe in a few years.
All right, Ms. Lock-Dawson.
Just really briefly, I wanted to touch on, you may have heard that our student representative, Madison Hebert from the EOC, referenced the RUSD think tank meetings. She said we had the fourth one today, and I know Ryan knows about this, but and Daryl got it started too. So these meetings that we've had are part of the effort that we launched last year to address the problem of stress and suicide among our high school students. And what we've done is had a series of meetings where we've had kids from all different campuses, and they've come and they represent all different walks of life on their campuses, so very different perspectives. And we've collected that information, and I believe it's going to come back to us in a report, correct? And some recommendations on what we can implement from the students themselves. But there were some consistent themes between last year and this year, and the biggest one that just keeps popping up again and again, Mr. Martin, you all like this, is that one of the biggest factors that seems to affect student well-being is the relationship with the teacher. if there's a teacher on campus that they can connect with, if there's somebody there, just one even, that makes them want to come to school and connect with them, it makes a huge difference in that kid's life and their experience in high school. And there hasn't been a whole lot of studies or research done on actually high school students' relationships with their teachers, but one came out last year. I think that was a big one that showed that having, it promotes social behavior, it promotes engagement, and it can be as effective as anti-bullying programs, just to get your teachers and your kids to communicate. So I will have you take that back. I hope we can continue to support our teachers and have them have good relationships with their students, because I think it's one of the keys to making our kids feel better and more successful. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Luck-Dawson. Dr. Farouk.
Thank you, President Lee. Just have a few things. One, I want to thank the board and the district for passing that safe zone resolution. I think it's very important during this time that we affirm our values. A couple of quick things I just want to share. Some of my friends, Mike Trujillo and A. Smith, they founded a program called No Child Eats Alone. It's a national movement. They have over 1,500 schools nationally that have participated in this. There's no cost to our district, and I appreciate Dr. Hansen and Tim Walker for reaching out to our schools. I was very pleased at Gage today in our school visit that they're already one of the early adopters, and there's no cost to our district. So I think this actually deals with bullying from a form of alienation, when kids are alienated socially. And so it's a way of addressing that issue. So I think it's great to see our district moving forward on that. Lastly, I want to share that I've been in conversations with leadership from UCR, and our Vice Chancellor for Research, Michael Pisani, has a PhD in computer science, and so he's particularly passionate about the coding efforts that we've been doing, and again, to commend Renee Hill and her team for all those efforts. We're in preliminary discussions about and again, this will be no cost to our RUSD, about UCR hosting a summer camp on campus for, most likely it'll be specifically focused on girls. We're still defining the exact specifics, but there'll be no cost to the district, no cost to the families. And we're looking at, there's a few industry partners and the combination of the university and industry partners that would be sponsoring all the costs. So more details to come, and Girls Who Code might be involved in this, but most likely, just because they're a very large organization, it might take a year for them to fully get involved, but we wanted to hit the ground running, so we're anticipating that as early as this summer that we can get this program launched. So I'll keep you guys posted. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Farouk. Mr. Hunt.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Thank you, Dr. Farouk, for leading the effort leading up to this on this resolution. I think, as you and I know, talking to some minority families, there's a lot of families that are in a lot of stress over the national tenor right now, and if this helps, I even hear about folks scared to walk their children to school, worrying about Miagra is going to pick them up and that sort of thing. So if this helps them be a little calmer, and because we know it's so important what they do at the kitchen table with the kids and the homework and all of that, and being involved in their child's education. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction. I would wonder, Dr. Hansen, if we couldn't have the board sometime in the near future, just have an update, maybe some photos as well on how the Ramona Theater is coming along, sort of a virtual tour if we could, just for the board to see how that's coming. I went to the, Mrs. Luck-Dawson and I both sit on the Riverside County School Board Association. I went to their recent meeting, and with Bill Newberry of Corona Norco now being the he's like third in line to be president of CSBA. On the agenda I'd asked was our situation with the marijuana dispensary, and I asked that be taken to CSBA so they could begin to have some sort of, hopefully get them to start doing this, some sort of uniform response for other districts. Just in the meeting I was in, we have a new school board member who took Kathy's place from Corona Norco. I'm sorry I forgot her name, very nice lady, Hispanic lady, and she was telling me, and I looked it up, there's a dispensary in Home Gardens, which is about 600 feet away from Home Gardens Elementary. So this is not just, it wasn't just a singular thing out there at Lincoln, but we're going to see it, particularly I think in your older neighborhoods, like Lincoln, like Home Gardens, where there's empty retail buildings that folks can use. So hopefully CSBA will pick up the gauntlet, and we advised them to get a hold of Ivy Fitzpatrick over at the DA's office, who was very helpful to Dr. Hanson and I and Mr. Walker on all of that on your behalf. Also, there was a report given by Bill and by Jesus just on the California Charter Schools Association, just something for us to pay attention to. The California Charter Schools Association in the 2016 elections spent $12 million, most of it focused on school board races for the County Board of Education, because obviously county boards do more charter schools approvals, disapprovals than locals do. But nevertheless, they also focused on just two times removed past President Joe Lucy of CSBA and knocked her out because she had voted against some charter schools in her area. In Bowdoin, according to this report, the California Charter Schools Association, along with the Billionaire Boys Club, the bros and those people, are allegedly proposing to spend $120 million in the 2018 elections. That would again focus on three things. One would be mainly on the county boards, somewhat on local boards, targeted races, but they're going to do a lot of advertising on TV to attack the California teachers. The California Teachers Association, going to attack tenure, going to attack some, I think, missteps that the CTA has made on certain legislation. I wouldn't disagree, but that's their job. And also on retirement pay. So it's going to be, 2018 is going to be a contentious time. We may want Dr. Hanson to begin just for Justin to think about, to make sure that if needed, we can tell the Riverside Unified story. I mean, we have a great relationship with our Teachers Association. We're working on professional growth, collaboration in that, and so on and so forth. But the charter is going to come after the California teacher very strong. Mrs. Locke Dawson and I will be going up for the mid-year meeting on May 20th to the 22nd. And lastly, I'd like to just, a couple things on sports that, we have our kids, we encourage our students to play sports in high school, I mean, in particular, for a lot of reasons. Ms. Alvey and I will talk about +2, and it makes a well-rounded young person, and it's wonderful being involved in your school, whether it's the chess club or the football team or the cheerleading, which is a sport next year, by the way. But there's some things that I just want to bring up that are a little bit disturbing, and one of them we can't do much about, but here's how it reads in last week's newspaper. It was a whirlwind week for DJ Davis, who played for Poly last week, left school on Friday, enrolled at Centennial on Monday, and was able to suit up for the Huskies by Thursday night's game. And this is what CIF is doing to us now. They're allowing, and they only require, and I'd like to find out, Dr. Hanson, what was the story at Poly? #1 player we have. Guy's hit 88 three-pointers. He's the reason Poly's contending against North and Rancho Murrieta, or whatever it is, Rancho Vista, is that it? Out there. And suddenly the kid leaves school to go off to the dark side over at Centennial. And I'd like to understand what happened there. And I was advised by a parent tonight maybe to ask you that question. I also think, February the 1st was National Signing Day. That's when high school athletes, seniors can sign letters of intent to play sports on a partial scholarship, a scholarship. And if it was just this year, I'd ignore it, but I've looked at it last year too. And I don't know if I'd like to find out from Dr. Hanson's office, working, I'm sure, with Daryl Hanson on this, but what are our athletic directors doing to help our young athletes be in connection with what is really a game now? Unless you're, this phenomenal star that comes out of nowhere, and UCLA and SC have been watching all this time, it is a game to get in. Now, we got two boys from King, we have 2 football players signed at Menoit State, which you don't know where Menoit State is. It's in the northeast part of North Dakota, and it has a 38% graduation rate. And we had 3 girls sign with in soccer and 2 boys sign in soccer. You know, for a district our size, either our athletes need to get a little better, or we perhaps need to help them, because there are some districts that actually help market their kids and get them out. And you know, I'm all for, you know, I advocated at our last meeting about gymnasiums, and we've heard Harlan talk about if he had a wrestling room at King, how many kids could come out. And I'm interested in that for a well-rounded child, and for you to have a great relationship with your high school activities. But also, there are scholarships out there, and even in water polo, we didn't sign any kids this year. So something's going on, and I just wonder if it's just a couple of bad years for athletes at RUSD, or is there more that we can do to, is there services we can subscribe to, or is there a coordinated effort that Daryl can undertake with athletic directors? But what are we doing to really help advance our young people for these type of college tuition help? So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt. Just a few things from me. I too want to commend the board and staff for putting together that resolution and passing it. Dr. Hanson, you do look handsome in this, by the way. And I see what, you know, it's what Dr. Hanson always says, serving every student every day. And I think that's what that resolution says. You know, it's talking about serving every student every day. And we've seen it. We saw it at the 2 meetings held at Central Middle School, informing parents, in particular from Guatemala and Mexico, about their rights. And you know, maybe it gets said too often, but if not now, then when? And the front page of the LA Times, you know, fake news newspaper. It says, people could be booked into, this is the latest executive order, people could be booked into custody for using food stamps, or if their child receives free school lunches. So I think about, what, 70-something% of our kids are receiving school lunches. How many of those are from undocumented families? So, you know, I don't want to get caught up in national politics or whatever the latest executive order is, but I know our job as a school board is to make our students first, so that's how I'm always going to approach this job. So thank you, Dr. Farouk, for bringing this to the board, and thank you, board, for approving that unanimously. Other thing I wanted to mention is, again, congratulations to Poly High School and their counseling team there, especially Yuri Nava. I know she was probably the lead on that to get that happen at Poly, and I believe Yuri and Dr. Rowe are in Sacramento today and being recognized by our assemblyman. So I think that's fantastic. Another good story coming out of RUSD, and just confirming what a great district we are, and a great brand that being part of RUSD brings to you, whether it's in Sacramento or DC or UCR or UCLA or wherever you may be. And then my last piece of information I'd like to share, only because I heard it on the news this morning, was there is a CTE program in West Virginia, and through their woodworking program, I don't know who heard this morning on NPR, but it talked about how instead of building, you know, birdhouses or skateboards or whatever they're building in wood class nowadays, in an effort to help the community in West Virginia that it's just had that big flood and a lot of people lost their homes, they started building tiny houses. So they gave these students the opportunity not only to use their woodworking skills, but to help the community. So obviously we don't have a flood, but I thought that was an innovative CTE program, that those types of programs are the things that we should be thinking of when we're looking to add pathways to our schools. Before the recession, I think 40% of our economy was based on the real estate industry. And while obviously that was unhealthy, still a big part of our economy here locally is the real estate industry, and it will continue to be for the foreseeable future. And there's lots of people that have done very well in support of family in the construction industry, whether that is building a house or electrician or plumbing or real estate or mortgage or whatever. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for us to explore. So I know we have a very innovative CTE department, in small but mighty, but as we look for opportunities for our students, I think this is a good example of one that we should mimic. So that is it from me, and I think board members' comments. And I know Dr. Hansen's been taking notes for some items that you all mentioned for future items on the agenda. So when I meet with Dr. Hansen, I'll be sure to go over those with him and make sure we get those on our calendar. And tonight, we'll do our adjournment. Find my paper here. Wherever it is. Good, here we go. All right. So tonight, we will adjourn this meeting in the memory of Spencer Martinez, who was a former RUSD student attending the Arlington Regional Center, who passed away just at the end of last month on January 30th. Joy Shu, a beloved teacher from Alcott Elementary, who passed away just before Christmas. Dan Anderson, a teacher of Riverside Unified for 30 years before retiring, who passed away on January 11th. Dorothy Kraus, a school secretary in Riverside Unified for 12 years before she retired, who passed away on January 13th. Caesar Ochoa, a custodian at Longfellow Elementary School before retiring. He passed away in January on the 16th. And Gracie Mendez, a retired confidential secretary with RUSD, who passed away just last week. So in honor of them and in memory of them, we adjourn today's meeting.